name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Spore Druid, and she is just a little bit obsessed with mushrooms.
Hi, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Ember. I'm a wildfire druid who's on a quest to be the very best there ever was.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I play Harry Harrington, the Harrengon, the roguish merchant with the heart of gold.
My name is Christian. I'm playing Bartholomew, the romantic dancing Owlin, Paladin of devotion.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I'll be playing Niles Silverwind, the Owlin, Way of the Sympathy Monk.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I play the character of Threign, the boisterous frost giant, the Goliath, path of the giant Barbarian.
Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello. Welcome back. Hello there, and welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces once again. We are here, we are back, we are playing Return of the Giants, the premier homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign. You can catch live right here on twitch.tv/The Lost Archives, or on YouTube at The Lost Archives D&D, or any podcast platform of your choice. Any of them. I dare you to find a single podcast platform that we're not on nowadays. Link in the description. I'll make sure it is on that for future. So, easiest way to find out which ones we're not on. Tell the internet that we are on all of them. It's wonderful to see you all again. We obviously had a little bit of a cliffhanger last session, so I will do a full recap to get us back in. Simon rejoins us. The good news is I had Ember go off and do something else, so we're going to find out what that something else is, which will be very exciting as well. Super quick announcement. There is no... And Dave's broadcaster has completely died. Amazing. I did warn people.
Buttons. That's my bad.
I warned you that broadcaster was not working as well as it used to. Mate.
It's actually really good now. It's actually really cool.
The interface is great, but the GPU usage is not as good. It's definitely.
Yeah, it gave me a warning before. Check this out. Virtual key light.
Oh. Huh. That actually looks pretty good. You look like you're wearing like really nice makeup. Someone's
I don't have the time to put my face on.
That's true. When you don't have the time to put your face on. I have some unfortunate news. This isn't fun news to share. There's unfortunate news. There is no session next Wednesday for Return of the Giants. There's actually no D&D or Avatar sessions at all. Simon and I have been shipped off to Singapore. Not a huge amount of notice, so we're just off to Singapore. Sorry, we're not going to be here. We don't get back until way too late to run the sessions, as in not on the Wednesday. We're not back until like the Thursday or Friday. So unfortunately, no sessions next week, but we will be back the week after, back in force, to keep you entertained, to keep you watching the good stuff. I have recorded so many episodes of Aloft. I have not had a lot of sleep, so I've been recording lots of Aloft for you. It is an excellent fun game that I'm enjoying thoroughly. Please enjoy all of the episodes that will be coming out every day that we would normally be streaming and recording and dropping episodes on YouTube. But instead, Aloft will be there to carry you over until we get back and until we restart our D&D sessions the week after. Other fun news. What was that?
Flying Islands.
It's like Subnautica, but flying up in the air. It's like airship Subnautica without the danger as well. It's not as dangerous. Yes, chat have also called me out. Time to play some Hello Kitty Island Adventure on those days as well. Yes, I am happy to share this. I challenged the community. I asked very nicely, hey, if there's any games you'd like me to play, let me know, and I'll give them a look. I opened my Steam account to a gift of a game, and I thought, oh, this is fun. I recognized the name as one of our lovely Discord members, Foxtrot, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. I wonder what Foxtrot's got me. I'm going to have to play it. It's Hello Kitty Island Adventure. We had a bit of a look during the Avatar stream to see what kind of things I could expect for Hello Kitty Island Adventure. 80 hours of enjoyment and fun to be had, apparently. I suspect 80 hours of ball-busting grind, but who knows?
People have been enjoying it. I've heard good things about Hello Kitty Island.
There you go. I'm looking forward to playing it. I haven't done any recorded episodes of it because I did promise to live stream it, and I think it'd be a fun one to live stream. I just haven't had time to live stream. I'm so sorry.
Is it a Souls-like game?
It's definitely a Souls-like game. Yeah, it's Dark Meows is how it works. Yeah. It's a pretty intense game. So I'm looking forward to that. So I guess
stars out of 5 on Steam.
5 out of 5.
4.5.
Oh, 4.5. That's still pretty good. What does Baldur's Gate 3 have?
that'd be much higher. Sure.
You reckon? I reckon it'd be about that. They had a bit of review bombing because people were unhappy. What were they unhappy about? They're unhappy about something. People are unhappy about something.
People are always unhappy.
People are
Yeah,
always
that's
unhappy.
right.
It's the internet. Not you guys. You're lovely. You guys right now, you're gorgeous, lovely people, and I appreciate you each and every day. You guys are the best. Other people, though, there are some dark parts of the internet. Fun fact, Hello Kitty is not a cat. She's an 8-year-old little girl.
Correct.
Yeah.
But her
I
face.
found that out recently as well.
But
She has a pet cat.
she has
Wait,
a
what?
face that's a cat's face. She has
Yeah.
ears. Well, I mean, we all have
I don't
ears,
know.
but she has cat's ears specifically.
I don't know if it's cosplay or mutagening changes, but yeah.
Huh.
Like a. Mm.
We're diving deep into lore I
I
did
have
not know we would be
questions.
touching tonight. And so we shall not. With a hand wave, we shall move on to the recap. No other fun news to share as far as I am aware. So let's, unless anyone else has anything fun to share, let's jump into
I'm
the
not too
recap.
sure, but do we know what episode we're on?
Tonight is episode 74.
Woo!
Okay.
What does that mean?
I'm doing a different form of note taking where it's session based rather than just
Ooh.
categorized.
Ooh,
I
how
feel like it's
nice.
easier.
That's nice. I
like
think
that.
I can think of some people in the Avatar stream who could benefit from your note taking. I pulled open. We've done 26 or 27 episodes in Avatar. I pulled open one of the character sheets because it's in a separate. It's not D&D Beyond. It's its own thing called Beyond Legend, which is an awesome toolkit. And I could see the notes section. They had a single sentence. I guess I put notes here. Don't you dare ask me for history checks if you're not taking notes. Ugh. Makes my blood boil. All right, let's do a recap. Let's jump into the session. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, is taking on the threat posed by the return of the giants to Nostea. Lyra, Niles, Harry, Ember, Threign, and newcomer Bartholomew have just returned to the surface after delving deep into the Underdark, taking on the threat of stone giants under the influence of a devil and a Duergar. After a brief detour to catch the deep gnomes up to the current situation, the team made their way back across the stone giant city of Tontanur, just as a flash of white light illuminated the central dais. Emerging from within the light, an enormous metal figure strode forward, clad in interlocking plates of the giant-made metal alloy. With an excited wave and a "hello there," the figure was revealed to be Lockie Hobbs, seemingly having been upgraded since the last time the party had seen him. While Lockie caught up with his old friend and fellow teammate Lyra, the rest of the group grabbed the treasure Obsidian Foot had been hoarding, along with his Obsidian Foot, and made the final preparations to return to the surface. Using the giant teleportation magic, the team were whisked thousands of miles back to the surface, emerging in the now permanent teleportation circle kept safe in the Tempest Guild base of operations, the Night Hall. Bumping into Azure, another former member of the team, while searching for Mira, the group shared what had happened in the caverns of the Underdark with Azure and with Lockie. The team also hoped to learn a little bit more about the Heartstones from Lockie, but it seemed that the stones that they held were acting very differently to how they were designed and supposed to function. Niles wondered if there was a way to show Lockie what he had experienced, taking a moment to focus in on his Heartstone and synchronizing his heartbeat to the pulse coming from inside. The voice of Sindaris briefly spoke to Niles, the storm giant confused as to his current state and how the Heartstone could have trapped his consciousness inside of it. Somewhat concerned about this turn of events, Niles shared his discovery with the team and with Lockie, the latter confirming he would organize a meeting with Sinmare, daughter of the Storm Giant King, as soon as possible. With Mira currently in a meeting with the Oxenfurt Council and Lockie off organising their catch-up with Sinmare, the team now had some spare time to explore the city. Heading over to the Tempest Guild blacksmith, a tabaxis called Howls Under the Earth, the team traded some items they had recovered, including Behir skin and a mithril belt, in exchange for supplies and some enchanted items to be constructed. While the party were focused on the items they'd recovered, Harry slipped away and headed towards the central merchant bank of Oxenfurt. Stepping inside, he was greeted warmly by the attendants upon speaking a secret password and taken quickly into the vaults below to retrieve some items from his strongbox. Heading back upstairs, Harry then met with Secret, a tiefling businesswoman and current head of the Oxenfurt chapter of the Thieves Guild. Sharing the details of his adventures, and I mean all the details of his adventures, it was revealed that the Silverwind family had also been engaging the Thieves Guild to source giant relics and metal for them, but with a revelation that potentially a devil was involved in these transactions, the Thieves Guild were far more cautious about how to proceed. Meanwhile, back at the Night Hall, the group headed into Griswold's tower to meet with the gnome artificer. After introducing the new members of the team, they prepared to show Griswold the contents of their bag of holding, also seeking his advice on how to deal with their bagman. After a brief bit of chaos, resulting in the bagman being released into Griswold's extraplanar space, the situation was partially resolved, and the team were free to get their items appraised. We left off last session as Griswold shared his latest innovation to assist the guild, a series of linked extraplanar spaces allowing for the team to develop and build their own bastions. We're not going to jump back in with you right away. We're actually going to jump a little bit back in time with Ember. Ember, where the team kind of split up and where they headed off was right at the sort of like, I'd say like pretty early on in the session last week. Harry snuck away from the rest of the group, I think with a stealth check of like 24 or something. He just vanished while the group were on their way to the blacksmiths. I had Ember stick around inside the Night Hall for a moment, just so that we could give you a bit of a chance to decide what Ember would do when you came back for this session. So with the whole of Oxenfurt open to you, with the guild hall open to you, what would Ember do? Would you accompany the rest of the team to trade in some items, then follow them up to Griswold's? Would you head out into the city?
I probably would want to accompany the team, but before I do that, I'd be hoping to... I got that little offcut of the Suicide plant, which, negates magical effect. I'd like to be able to see if I can plant or do something with that there to try and grow it out front of the guild hall.
Nice.
See if I can make more, I suppose.
Ember, as you have a bit of a look around, you remembered Azura had pointed towards the gardens, over towards the northern side of the manor house. And with the knowledge that there are specific gardens in the guild, you begin to make your way outside and around the fenced interior. The gardens are not visible from the road outside. The walls that are covered in overgrown ivy and large hedge-like bushes growing in front of it keep the inside of this area private, away from the prying eyes of the public. A slight shimmer along the wall also indicates the presence of some sort of magic, potentially protecting the Night Hall from outside intruders. As you make your way over to the garden, you can see a number of planter boxes have been set up, as well as some raised garden beds have been set aside. A number of herbs, vegetables, as well as some very interesting looking flowers and other plants grow, I'd say mostly untended. There's a very clear intention and setup of the infrastructure, but then whoever's tending to this garden, as a druid, it's very obvious that either they are quite hands-off in their approach, choosing to let the plants kind of sort their own shit out, or they have a very eclectic way of kind of managing a lot of these planter boxes. It's quite chaotic. As you approach and have a look through the garden, some tools rest up against the side of a shed just off towards the far northern wall, and you can see there's a couple of planter boxes that have been left empty. There's also, next to the garden shed, 2 doors that look like they lead to a storm cellar, partially sunken underneath the shed and underneath the very northernmost side of these planter boxes. Looks like there might be an underground section or a storm cellar located here as well.
Okay, so seeing the storm cellar and knowing that this plant was growing underground, I'd probably want to go down there, maybe take one of the planter boxes with me, but I'll head down into the cellar first just to see what is actually in there.
Yeah, as you head on over to the storm cellar doors, there's a padlock in place, but it's not locked. It's actually just sitting open. Lock the padlock, open up the storm cellar doors, and you can see a ladder descending down into the darkness below. Your keen Firbolg senses pick up the sound of running water. You can spy this faint, soft, almost light blue glow coming from underneath. Bioluminescence, you think, Ember. You've seen this before, having just come from the Underdark. You think you're on the money here. As you climb down the ladder and head into the space below, it's not a spacious cellar, but it's certainly not cramped. This storm cellar has been excavated and dug out underneath part of the planter boxes. You can see retaining walls and beams are in place to help hold up the roof. Cross beams that lock up and actually nail into the bottom of the planter boxes. It's almost a false roof created by the planter boxes above. You can see that someone has set up an irrigation network here, possibly tapping into the river over towards the eastern side of the Night Hall. There's a pipe that flows water all the way through into this little underground chamber. Large cylindrical sections of wood and what look like paper have been rolled up and set into position, dug out into the soil, and you can see various fungi and mushrooms growing on their surface. Some of them glowing with a faint light blue bioluminescent color, some of them just completely normal mushrooms as far as you can see. No glow here. Looks like someone's actually set up a bit of a mushroom farm underneath these planter boxes.
Fantastic. So is there any space for me to put the plant that's not going to interact with anything else around?
There's a number of quite large pots designed to hold trees or small saplings that are stacked up in a corner. You can see there are a few bags, Hessian bags of what looks like some sort of soil or potting mix. And you can even see a nice trowel jammed into the side of one of those little mushroom gardens.
Perfect. So look, I'd go to one of the large pots. I'd be planting it in that. And I'd also be trying to put it in a place which, I mean, you might not see it when you first come down. I mean, I've just gone, find this plant. I don't want people to take it.
Very fair. Could I please get, I'm going to say this falls underneath a nature check.
Sure thing.
I want to see how good you do. 21. Ember, you've spent a bit of time studying this Sousa sapling. You've spent a bit of time understanding the ecology of the Underdark. You know exactly what you need to do. Steady supply of water, fresh minerals. Obviously, it's not getting a lot of energy from sunlight, so it's going to be extracting energy from somewhere else. Your hypothesis at the moment is most of its energy is coming from the soil and from decomposing plants around it. Perfect. Mushrooms also feed on decomposing plant matter. Everything you could need to grow this is right here. In fact, looking at the way the planter box is set up, one of these mushroom towers, one of these fungus towers, there's a space at the back behind it, not immediately visible coming down the stairs, that you could place the pot, especially if you broke out the bottom, and it would be able to absorb a lot of the nutrients from this mushroom tower through the root system up into the pot. Still be able to move it later as well. As you carefully prepare the sapling, put it in position, tuck it away behind. As the Sousa plant gets close to one of the types of glowing mushrooms, this one with a very low sort of flashing pulse, you watch as the pulse slows for a moment and goes out, and then as you take the Sousa sapling away, it starts up again, those pulsing lights. So whatever this fungus is, you suspect there's probably some magic involved. Yeah, as you finish getting the Sousa sapling planted and tuck it away, it probably takes you about sort of 20-25 minutes to get it all set up and nicely tucked away. And with plenty of fresh water flowing down into the trays of these mushroom towers, you're pretty confident this sapling is going to have a very easy time of growing.
Fantastic. Well, knowing that I've done that, I would want to tend to the garden at some point, maybe use my plant growth to do the 8 hours, but knowing that everyone's heading into the town, I might head off and try and join the rest of them.
Yeah, for sure. As you make your way back inside, you bump into the rest of the group. I'd say it probably takes you guys about 30-40 minutes with Howls Under the Earth. So as Ember emerges back in, you bump into Ember, dusting off a bit of dirt from his hands as the rest of you begin to head up the tower. Ember, you join them as they head up the tower. You watch as Griswold freaks out about the presence of a bagman. The bagman is unleashed. Chaos ensues. Griswold appears to kill the bagman, but claims that it can't really be killed now that it's inside his extraplanar space. It's a bit confusing and a bit concerning, but he kind of brushes over that very quickly and moves on to examining the magic items. Now, we left off last session with you guys as Griswold was starting to explain his latest plan, his latest idea. Ember, I think you have met Griswold before, but just to refresh your memory, Griswold is quite a small, diminutive gnome, white hair with a receding hairline pulled back into a very slick back. What would you call that? Like a slicked over short, I guess? I don't know. Goggles up on his forehead, hiding the receding hairline. Very long white beard, carefully braided and tied up to prevent it getting caught in anything.
Like Home Alone when he puts his hair back in the mirror.
Slick back, yeah, exactly right. Exactly like that. And as you see all of this go down, Professor Griswold then begins to go through exactly what he's thinking with the plan. So I'll do a little bit of that conversation again. I'm going to retcon slightly what we said. So Griswold, as he introduces the idea of the bastions.
Well, yes, I've been working on something to help out. Well, obviously with the guild, the airship, an air of decency, has been a great boon, traveling all over, being able to access certain places and having crew quarters there that you can staff and get access to resources. Very, very handy, but airship can't be everywhere. I've been working on something that can, and I think your heartstones, I think they might be the key. They're always giving off a little bit of energy. Your friends, Nowdiz and Tetra. Very, very lovely. Nowadays is an interesting construct. Anyway, they spent a bit of time letting me examine and kind of play around with the heartstones a little bit, and I must say, I've got a bit of an idea about how we can utilize them more effectively. each one seems to be kind of unique, so it gives off a little unique energy signature. Well, I'm thinking if I pair that with a extraplanar space, like a lock and a key, I can give you access to a little pocket dimension, each of you. That's yours and yours alone.
Griswold, just double checking something first.
Yes.
These bastions, these extraplanar spaces, are they sort of latching onto the energy signature from the Hearthstone, like almost like a magnet sort of being drawn towards it, like it's a homing signal, or it's using the energy, the unique signals of the Hearthstones itself? Because we think these might be alive.
Ah, well, alive. Interesting. Like a construct alive, or like a...
Like a soul. So kind of not alive, but kind of alive.
Well, that might put a wrinkle in this sheet. I was thinking that we could use them as the focal point, like draw upon the energy. They're always giving off this energy, and I thought, well... I think that what Lyra's getting at, when you say draw upon, is it consuming the energy or just locating it? A bit of both. These heartstones, they're always giving off a bit of faint energy. Not a huge amount, but enough that I could tie them to an extraplanar space, like your bag of holding. Technically, your bag of holding is always giving off a little bit of energy. When you pull open the drawstrings, that boundary between here and inside, that gap generates little bits of energy. Your heartstones kind of do the same thing, and I was hoping to draw upon that to create these extraplanar spaces, or not create them, but to link to these extraplanar spaces. It'd mean you have a safe space, each of you, that only you could grant access to others. They'd have to be touching you. You would have to be physically in contact with them to bring them into your space. To give peace of mind, would there be any mathematics you could do to make sure that it wouldn't drain the Heartstones of their power? Yes, there is. Yes, sounds like you would like me to run some numbers before we commit to anything further. Yes, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. For each of us, they're connected to a specific person that we somewhat feel responsible for. You said person, but then you said souls earlier. I'm pretty clever. I pick up on these things. Are you telling me that these are like there's a soul inside these? Kind of seems to be what you're implying.
Either the soul or a mirror image of it.
That's what we're thinking, yes.
We're still working out, but they've got names, they remember their histories, and we watch their histories, live it.
And they can independently react to the things that we're doing.
Well,
you think there might be something...
Magic can be tricky. Could be a simulacrum. Maybe an advanced version of it.
Is there a way to find out?
If it works like a normal simulacrum, yes, there is. Can I have someone's hand, please?
Lyra closes her eyes and puts out a palm.
He looks and goes like,
Not here, over on the bench. Come. Come with me. Let me take some measurements really quickly. The rest of you, entertain yourselves for 5 minutes. There's some stuff here. Look out for the bag man. Let me know if you see him. Let's figure out what we're doing with this first. Let's get some readings, and I'll crunch some numbers, and then I'll get back to you about the extraplanar spaces. Oh, way to rain on my parade. I thought this was excellent. You were going to be very excited. Show off some cool stuff. But I can wait. With that?
You've never heard how long we were camping in the Underdark for?
No, how long?
We could have had a bed all this time.
See, aren't you pleased that Griswold is working tirelessly to improve your lives? And hopefully save them.
I really appreciate it.
All right, put your hand in here.
as he leads you over to a large series of metal tubes with these crystalline, almost like crystalline oculi attached to the outside of it, like lenses, almost like spherical lenses. He places your hand inside a clamp. Lyra, this is a full metal clamp. As soon as he locks your wrist in it, you cannot get out of this. Not easily, anyway. And as he...
Can I face step?
You can certainly try.
Face step.
You can certainly try. Can I get you to please roll me a D100 as you try to face step?
Ooh.
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
There might be a certain word that's part of that spell that I'm interested in, and it's definitely not the word step. 58.
Phase.
Lyra, as you go to face step, you feel this strange resonant vibration. You are unable to face step at this point. The clamp keeps you locked in place.
Well, this isn't going to cut my hand off, and does it stop magic?
What? Cut your hand off? Don't be barbaric. I'd put it back if it did anyway. No, it won't cut your hand off. You'll be fine. Yes. Well, it has to stop magic. How else can I examine the magic output? If you might corrupt the test if you're doing magic while I'm trying to read the magical output of this thing. Why, did you try to do some magic?
Yes.
I'll restart the test. Please refrain from using magic while your hand is inside the clamp. As he pulls the lever, you watch as the oculi, the crystals, begin to light up, and these beams of light then begin to swirl and spin around your hand. He then goes, right! Gives you a pat on the back, jumps down off his little chair and wanders over back to the rest of you as you're locked in there. He just walks away, leaving you there. Now, there are some more items you wanted me to look at. Yes? I believe there was a sword. You were very excited about the sword.
Sword?
Yes, you mentioned a sword.
A break sword or?
Last time we were here.
Your weapon.
Yes, sorry, I was so fixated on the hammer. Also, during those 5 minutes, he said to keep us entertained. I did whisper to Niles if you can fly up and see if it actually is endless, because I'm kind of curious.
Oh, yeah. Niles will totally do that real quick.
Niles, sorry. Sorry. One more time?
I caught everyone off guard.
I thought owls flew on silent wings. Brushing through moonlight with their silent travel across the skies. Not Niles. That's the sound. That is the canonical sound Owlin make when they fly. You know, like those pigeons, the crested pigeons. As they fly. For non-Australians, this is going to sound fucking insane, but there's a species of pigeon here in Australia that every time it flies, literally goes as it flies. I'm not kidding. This is a legitimate thing. I know we troll with our animals. I know we do. I swear to you, it's called the crested pigeon. It's fucking hilarious. You can find the sound on YouTube. It's the best. Quick aside. Yeah, Niles, as you take to the wing with a gentle... Thank you. There's a delay in the tower. It's so big. As you take off, taking up into the tower. Yeah, I mean, so you've been teleported to the upper floor, which you could kind of just see high above you before. As you take off, you can see windows in the side of the tower that look out over the city of Oxenfurt. As you fly for 5 minutes or so straight up, the top of the tower is still half hidden in this misty, hazy glow high above you. And the windows, the relative position where you are looking out through the windows, you don't think you're getting any higher. Your perspective is not shifting.
That'd be really weird.
It's a really weird sensation. And as you close your wings and drop, Niles, back towards the bottom of the tower, I mean, as you look down, they're tiny. Far, far below you, and as you plummet down through the air, the wind silently grazing your wing. Sorry, the wind going as it goes over your wings. as you dive bomb back down to the group. I mean, it's that tower is. You're going to need a lot more than 5 minutes if you want to try and see what's up higher.
Is it like in the time it takes to fly up, is it like relative to the time it takes to fly back down, or is it like almost instant?
Massively fast to fly back down because you're using gravity to fly down. So it's just that it's much better. Yeah, no. So it's proportional. Like you think you dive bombed at the right. And it was the correct speed for dive bombing.
Right.
The perspective of Bart watching him.
Yeah, he flies up and
does he go anywhere?
Okay, and vanishes
as he disappears. Like 30 feet and then just doesn't move as he goes into like a vegetative state.
It's not like Spy Kids 2 where they think they're falling forever and they're just like sitting in like an airstream or something. You do actually fly up, then fly back down again. Man, that would have been a pretty funny thing if it was like a Steve Buscemi situation. It was like, you've been up there for a couple of hours. Do you guys want to come down? What's going on? That'd be pretty funny. Maybe I should have done that. No, as you drop back down again,
Where are you headed? Curious about Griswold's stuff, eh?
A little bit. Bart here said that he wanted to see if it was really endless, and I tried to fly up there.
No, it's not endless. Oh, no. No, my boy. I've just compacted a much bigger space into a much smaller space. It's not endless. It has bounds. Can't go on forever, but you'll be flying for a while if you're going straight up. Oh, yeah.
Well, yes, no, it seemed that way.
Yeah, it gets thin up there.
Here, and I'll pull out sort of, I guess, the handle, because the blade doesn't ever exist until I make it exist with the radiant weapon. But I'll pass him, the handle and protective guard of what is now the Dawn Blade, once the Shadow Blade.
You watch as Griswold takes the blade.
Excellent balance.
Pulls down the goggles, begins adjusting dials, and you watch as emerging from compartments much too small to hold them, massive lenses click out and move into place. As they move into position, you can hear the whirring of clockwork, and lights begin to glow along the side of these goggles as Griswold begins to focus in.
Oh dear. How much do you know of this blade?
I definitely know that it has a connection to the Spider Queen, and that I have probably only temporarily halted that. I was hoping you might be able to tell me if there's more that is worse than that, or if there's a way to permanently snap that connection and completely overpower it the way that I've temporarily done that.
Well,
it's a beautiful weapon.
Let me tell you something for free. The Spider Queen does not give gifts. She lends her power to her faithful, and what you have done here will have earned her wrath should she find out. I am not sure she has, because if she had and you brought this here, along with the bagman, we would have some very stern words. But I don't get the sense of malice from this that I would be expecting. This is forged from her very essence. To sever her connection to this would be to destroy the blade itself. It cannot be done while maintaining it in its current form. I'm sorry. Not with any magic known to me. And trust me, I know a lot of fucking magic. I've not walked across 16 planes to not know how magic works. No, this
Name
is
5 of them.
Name 5 of them. I've been to all 4 of the elemental planes, as well as quite a large number of the outer planes. Thank you very much.
Okay.
What was the plane of air like when you went?
Well, I didn't spend much time in the plane of air. It's quite a wild place. You
watch as he kind of looks. He's going to make an insight check on you to see if he can figure out what you're getting at, because he might know something and not know if you know. Let's roll an insight for Griswold. It's a 4. Griswold's not very wise. Griswold just goes,
Oh, it's a lovely place this time of year. Your people are from the elemental plane of air originally, refugees to Nostea and all that. Yes, it's a marvelous place. I haven't spent much time there, though.
I was just meaning this is a simple competition and honestly a joke more than anything. But Niles, you do make a good point. We're not really being secretive with our companions any longer now that we have. It was just not even hiding it from them. It was just nervousness of the conspiracy. I don't think there's a reason to hide it from Griswold either.
No, I mean, you
Wait,
did tell
you
him
know.
from him.
This
We
is
know
one of the best
somewhat.
kept secrets. I have to be careful what I say and what I do. This is not my home plane, and I try not to interfere in some areas.
You could understand our trepidation then. Obviously, the situation with Bart here and this revelation that we found when we went to Society Brilliance in the Underdark.
You should be careful with that knowledge. Those who have it and are careless sharing it often wind up dead. Have you ever heard of the Shadow Claws?
No.
Talons of the Ares Theocracy.
I've heard of the Talons, but not in that regard.
Well, Ares Theocracy has a cabal of assassins, well known and well feared. Owlin strike on silent wings with wicked sharp claws. To protect that secret, you would do very well to be careful who you share that knowledge with. There are eyes and ears everywhere.
Do you know who the Shadow Claws are loyal to at the moment?
They are always, have always, and I suspect will always be loyal to the Zishi.
And do you know if the bird folk were in control of the airplane when you visited?
It's not that simple. The plane of air is it's a place of wild elemental magic, like all the elemental planes are. The plane of air is the element of freedom. It is hard to cage the wind, hard to trap the storm, and despite the Owlin and Aarakocra's best attempts to fetter the wind itself, there are pockets of resistance, elementals, and, well, far more dangerous creatures that lurk in the outer storm. that they have yet to tame. No, they'll be busy for some time with that, if they ever are able to fully tame the storms. But I will say they've made significant progress. Most of the inner floating islands are now completely under Eris control. Sorry, he wouldn't say Eris. Eris is the name of the floating city that the giants had. He wouldn't say Eris. Most of them are under Aarakocra and Owlin control.
Thank you for being so honest with us.
Yes, we appreciate it.
Chat have asked a very good question, and because Jay has highlighted it, I do think this is something that probably would occur to you. Griswold, what do you mean not your home plane?
Yeah, I did take that as a note. I was going to push on it when he's just like not native of this plane.
Yeah,
but I wasn't really sure if that was my place to just out him on that at the moment.
It's up to you. It's up to you guys. Lyra, you can hear all this too while your hand's in a fucking clamp. Ember, you can hear this as well. Your hand's not in a clamp, but you can hear it as well. The clamp's not necessary for hearing.
He's a gnome, correct?
Does appear to be, yeah. It does appear to be a gnome.
Yeah, okay. Look, I only just met him. I'm not going to ask questions like that and push too much.
Lyra will shout it across the room like,
Yeah, I can
what do you mean this isn't your home place?
I'm not native to Nostea, obviously. Look at me. Do I look anything like the gnomes here? Oh, no. No. They try their best, poor things, but they've not had the life experience I have. It's hard to achieve perfection such as this.
Are you a giant?
My giant? No, I'm a gnome. No, I'm a gnome. I'm just a gnome. I'm actually, to be honest, I'm quite average for a gnome.
I think if you're not from Nostea, are you from another continent or another plane? You said you were not native of this plane, correct?
I'm not native of this plane. No, Nostea, this world. I'm not from here. Not from Nostea, not from Oceania, the continent we're on, not from any of the places. Well,
actually, yeah, if the world is all locked away, what?
You know how I mentioned there are some things that I have to be careful of the knowledge I share as I'm not a native to this plane.
Yes, that's one.
I am very sorry to say, I love the Tempest Guild, and your friends, your companions have always given me a good laugh, and given me access to places and things that I need, but I will say this. And he looks around very furtively, and you watch as he quickly moves his hands in a strange gesture as a small sphere of shimmering light
rises up.
Lyra. Rises up, and it's large enough to cover Lyra. A small shimmering sphere of light almost flies up around you. There's a cone of silence. Your gods are jealous gods. They keep information. I must be careful. My presence here must go unnoticed. And with that, you watch as the sphere disappears from him. He goes, "Ha! Sorry, was meant to do this spell." And he holds his hands up and blasts a series of light into the sky that swirl around into a gorgeous pattern. He goes, "See, magic is beautiful." Lyra, why have you still got your hand in that clamp? It's finished.
How do I take it off?
Just press the button, obviously.
There's a button. Look at all
You watch as he wanders on over, kicks a button at shoe height for him underneath the desk, and the clamp opens up, releasing your hand. There you go.
What were the results then?
Do we have a verdict?
Well, I'm going to have to take some time. Do you know how many tests I just ran with this? You lot are so impatient. Please.
Oh, well, I didn't know.
I'm not a wizard. Is this stuff not instant?
No.
Yes.
Just saying how great your magic was.
It's great. This isn't magic. This is math now. Fuck off. Go do something else for a bit. Is there any other items? Before I get started on this, I'm going to be undisturbed for these calculations. Were there anything else you wanted me to look at?
Not look at, but a question for you.
Yes.
You mentioned that you're wanting to develop these rooms for us.
Yes.
Do you know a rough timeline on that?
Well, you're the one slowing me down when you all these tests. I never got anywhere by testing things. You test things by doing things. Having to run theoretical tests, I hate it. But if I have to run theoretical tests, now experimentation is about doing, all right, not about thinking.
I'm going to use that line. That's great.
What I need to do, I need to go through these things, make sure there's not going to be a problem for whatever things you've got trapped. Simulacrum, soul, much the same. It's just energy at the end of the day. Once we've got that figured out, I reckon in the next day or so, I can certainly give you access. If you wanted to do things with them, you're going to need to do that in your own timeline. I can't help you with construction. Although, I have to say, your friend, the wizard, what was his name? Crassus.
Crassus?
Oh, yeah.
He brought back a rather interesting little construct.
You watch as Griswold walks on over, pulls open a drawer, revealing one of the spider drones from Laspire.
Ooh.
I've completely forgot about this until that moment. When you mentioned construction. No, I mentioned construction. I completely forgot about it until I mentioned construction. Crassus said these things were taking things apart and building things, right? You saw that too. You were there.
Yes, we were all there.
No.
Well, except for...
We also got explained, it was explained to us how they work.
Great.
Giant sphere in Laspire. Remember the screen and the guy, he put the command out to...
Oh, I don't have a...
repair it.
This explanation is horrible.
I don't have a screen or a
I'm
guy.
really bad at that.
But I'll
We might-
I'm thinking. It's just a war. It's like a Warforged. I've taken enough schematics from Lockie. It's like him. It's like a giant Warforged. I reckon I can.
Quick question, DM. Other than Lockie, do Warforged actually exist in this setting?
Yes, so Lockie isn't a Warforged. Warforged. Yeah, so there are Warforged. Warforged are the people like the humans and elves and gnomes attempt to kind of copy the giant forged. The Warforged have been around for a little bit of time. They were developed during the Ruin as an easy way to get soldiers on the front line to take on the demons and devils. The ones that are still around since then are very old, very ancient, starting to fail and fall apart. The Giant Forged, on the other hand, those that are still active seem to be running with no problems for thousands of years. And every so often, someone will stumble across one in an inactive state and activate it, and therefore have another immortal construct walking the earth. But yeah, so Warforged and Giant Forged are easily differentiated. Giant Forged all seem to be made of this giant alloy. Warforged, on the other hand, are made of wood, stone, metal, the usual, like normal Warforged. And Bart would also know this, given you're growing up in the Eris theocracy. The dwarves have also been attempting to make their own version of Warforged called Stoneforged, which are like walking statues empowered by magic. One of the player characters, who's Claire, who's on a mat leave position, which you and Dave are filling. She was playing Nowdiz, a giant, a dwarven Stoneforged. They look like stone dwarves with glowing lines of energy cut through their stone form.
Well, there were some other things. I don't know if Lockie ended up analyzing the hammer. Did he downstairs before he left? We were going to do it. I don't think we ended up doing it, did we?
You didn't end up giving it to him.
No, we didn't.
You will see
Perhaps,
Lockie again if you wanted him to look at it. Otherwise, Griswold's here.
I mean,
He did say that it wasn't his area of expertise and there was risks involved. So I feel like Griswold was the man for this.
This is the safest place. And as well as the hammer, Griswold, there were some... I was going to show Hal's this, actually, but I think maybe this is more up your alley. I just pull out some of the fragments of the enriched metal.
Yes, this is the same stuff Lockie's made of. Very nice, very nice. Where did you come across this?
Well, it's a bit of a story, but we believe that the Duergar down in the Underdark were crafting this and building sets of armor for...
Sorry, they're forging this? How the fuck have they figured that out?
Well, I can't say it's very glamorous. It's a bit of a choppy mess from what I saw, but they're outfitting individuals in the aristocracy with it.
They did have giant assistants, and alongside that, one of them was in contact with a devil who may have been giving them infernal knowledge.
I should say that stone giants weren't of right mind. They were definitely enthralled by obsidian foot, which leads me to my next point, and I pull out the hammer.
As you reach inside the bag and remove the hammer from the bag of holding, for the first time since you slipped it away, an obsidian foot's grasp upon it was fractured. The hammer looks much the same as you remember. Does
Harry have the hammer?
Harry's given you his bag of holding anyway, but
okay,
you guys
cool.
have the hammer, yeah.
Yeah.
As you pull forth the hammer, you can see the sections of giant forged metal, the giant alloy, strapped to the top, the large chunk of obsidian in the very center, and that heartstone, that blood red heartstone, almost molded in with these electrum wires poking through the obsidian and around the handle. It looks much the same as you remember. Almost identical, in fact. And as you pull the hammer free, you watch as Griswold takes a step back.
Oh my. Can you smell that? Oh, your senses aren't quite as attuned. That... anything that's been touched by a devil or a demon. Sometimes there's the reek of sulfur about it. Their magic, this infernal magic, is a sulfurous kind of smell. That's where the myth comes from, that devils and demons, you can tell that they're around by sulfur. You have to be a pretty sensitive individual to this stuff. That is the most foul-smelling sulfurous item I've ever smelt in my life. That smells foul. This is a dangerous artifact you've come across. I would hazard this belongs to a very powerful devil or demon from the Nine Hells.
Yes, he wants it back. I don't know.
I'm not fucking surprised. It'd be a fair chunk of his power in this. Or if it's not his, a fair chunk of a rival's power.
It's also got a heartstone.
Yes, I noticed that. I don't think you should be touching this personally. This is dangerous. Let me get a...
You watch as he reaches over, grabs a backpack and straps it on. As he clips it into place, he pulls his goggles down, presses a few buttons on this strap that comes out around over his shoulder, and you watch as a metal arm emerges over the back, a 3-clawed metal hand over the back of his backpack, reaches over and takes the hammer very gingerly from you and lifts it up before spinning it around for him to investigate as he sort of moves the dials into place on his goggles.
That's so cool.
I thought you were a wizard, but are you an artificer?
Yes, I dabble in wizarding.
Okay.
Artificing is... See, the thing is, right.
Incredible.
There's one thing Griswold knows, Professor Griswold knows, and that's figuring out how shit works. Magic stuff.
Relationships?
Well, I've been divorced 6 times. Does that count?
I think it's the opposite, but
When
continue.
you've lived as long as I have, me boy. That's how it goes. Yeah. This is a dangerous artifact. The taint of some demon still lurks on this. You said this was being used by a Dwergar.
Yes.
Are you laughing at the word
Well-
taint lingers on this?
No.
I'm playing with children.
Yes,
Someone
it's a
rode
Druid.
this right between their taint. It smells stinky hammer.
It's how
yeah.
Vice charged it with power.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Please, hand me the
Right,
hammer. Let's get this party started.
He wants it back so badly.
He's like dancing. He puts the hammer down, starts dancing around the handle.
Oh dear.
That's going to be some fan art.
I cannot get rid of now.
Foxtrot in the chat's just like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yep.
You said a Dwergar was using this to control the giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, this would be a corrupting influence. Yes. I would be very careful. If you're happy to leave this in my care, I can have a bit of a look. At the very least, I can quarantine it here until we can find out how to get that Heartstone out of it. The Heartstones are energy, right? They provide and let off energy. Just like I was planning to use your Heartstones to connect to extraplanar spaces, just want to let you know that this Heartstone, this corrupted one, devil's touch upon it, or demon's touch, probably a devil. Demons tend to bite rather than touch stuff. There's a chance it's a signal that they could follow.
Oh.
I mean, if anything, that might help speed up your studies. If someone's already accomplished what they're trying
Unless,
to
of
do.
course, one of the princes of the Nine Hells appears inside my tower. Look, Griswold's got the fucking stuff, all right? I'm pumped up with magic. But if like Asmodeus or Tiamat, God forbid, steps into this tower, there's not a lot I'm going to be able to do about it.
Might be Mephistopheles. Hopefully that's not possible.
Same.
Related.
Let me let you in on a secret. Any of the princes of the Nine Hells. If Mephistopheles stepped in here,
Tiamat once?
he would step on me. I'm quite small.
I thought you said you were medium.
Well, for a gnome, compared to Mephistopheles.
But we did have plans of wanting to either give this to Threign, companion who is of giant spawn, or possibly even gifted back to the giant tribes. It is a relic of theirs. So if you could assist in any way studying it.
The stone also has the soul or memory of the stone giant king.
No, it doesn't. Not anymore. Trust
Not
me.
anymore?
Whatever's in there, it's not him anymore. This thing is corrupted. It is a festering boil of plague, of hatred. No, trust me. You do not want anyone wielding this while it has that thing affixed. We need to be very careful with this.
Something just occurred to me. If we're running under the assumption that the stones seem to have some sort of soul in them, is it possible that there's a demon soul inside of that stone? Or something else?
Griswold goes, and shrugs. Probably. Yep, I mean, look, it's possible. I'll take one for the team on this one. I didn't think demons or devils had souls, personally. It's like their whole shtick, right? They collect souls.
Well, like, maybe not a soul per se, or whatever it is that they exist as, like an essence or some sort of power? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
Look, mate, possibly. I can tell you right now, there's a large chunk of the demons or devil's power. Let's just call it a devil. We know it's a devil. There's a large chunk of a devil's power jammed into this thing. A huge chunk of it.
When Mr. Vice comes knocking to see where his hammer is, I'll just have to tell him it's not here. Very good.
It's in the shop.
Just a side note, as a possibility, what if what is inside that is either an ally, enemy, or part of Vice, and that's why he desperately wants it?
It's possible. A portion of his power, maybe? Yeah.
Look, there's juice in this thing. Let me put it that way. There's a lot of juice. The more I look at this, the more anxious I am. I'm not sure I can keep unfriendly eyes off this in this tower. This thing is like a beacon, and that Heartstone is a signal that could be followed. I'm happy to keep it here for the moment, but I'm letting you know, even inside your bag of holding, that's not necessarily a safe place. Not as safe as it would be for other things.
Assuming these extra planar hand spaces end up being feasible, would that be a spot where it could hide?
I don't think there's anywhere you could put this that there would not be a trail to follow. This thing reeks of demonic, devilish, infernal magic. And that Heartstone is a beacon for those who know how to use them. And from the sounds of it, there's a devil you called Mr. Vice. Right. Mr. Vice knows how to use. If he was able to do this to this thing, I think he's got a fair handle on how the Heartstones work. And if there's a devil out there who understands this giant tech, we need to be a lot more afraid than we are. You're not looking scared enough. Can I see it in your faces?
Oh, I'm very scared.
He's already tried to kill us twice.
No, he hasn't. You'd be dead.
Yeah,
If this is his power in here, and he wanted you dead, trust me, you'd be crispy little fries right now.
Rather than using it, if it is so ungodly gone, beyond any redemption, or
I didn't say that per se. I might be able to do something here. I want to. It's underneath this. I'm sure there's a very nice weapon.
If it comes to it, would you know have knowledge of how to sunder a thing such as this?
Well, all we're doing is getting it back to how it was before. This isn't like your sword, which is made from Loth's essence. This is giant forged by the looks of things, and someone's done a bang-up job of fucking it up, but it is still giant forged. And if I can siphon away that demonic energy and get that Heartstone off, I don't see any reason why a very powerful remove curse shouldn't clean up the rest of the remaining corruption on this weapon. But that Heartstone, I'm not sure if I can do much about that. My best bet's going to be to just get it off the hammer.
Niles is just going to do an insight check into Griswold at the moment.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I don't think anyone has ever done an insight into Griswold in the entire history of Tyranny Dragons or Return of the Giants. This is the first time I suspect Griswold has been subjected to an insight check, which is pretty funny.
No, I rolled a 1.
That's a natural 1 for a total of 7. Niles, man, it's so lucky Griswold's here, because this shit is, I mean, you had no idea how bad this was. But Griswold's here. He's got it under control. And I mean, his warning about this devil being this powerful, if it is this devil's power inside that hammer, oh, you're a bit spooked because you also
but
know
Griswold's got this.
Griswold's got this, but there's a part of you that's also like, yeah.
I don't know, guys.
Oh no.
No.
At this point, let's jump back to Harry.
Hey.
Harry, my boy, do you finish up at the merchant bank, the central merchant bank of Oxenfurt? Head back down into the streets. Where do you go? What do you do?
Yeah, that's a good question actually.
Getting the
very
double.
nice.
Is it just me getting double Harry?
Yeah, you're going to double Harry.
Now I'm getting double Harry.
One second.
He's gone.
And he's gone.
It's Harry and Figment talking at once.
Yeah, they've merged to become one being, but not quite. There's like a 1 millisecond delay on Figment as he tries to read Harry's mind.
Never mind.
I reckon that'll do it. Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah, that's better.
Oh, she's the time to install the thing.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not better.
Let me see. I might be able to help with this. It's currently using your Fine microphone. Is that correct?
Yes, but it isn't.
Nope, that's not. That doesn't sound good. That's so funny. You're working perfectly.
How about
before.
now? That better?
Sorry, my boy.
I could. Okay. Fixed. Is that fixed?
There it is. Hey.
Somehow Video Ninja was choosing 2 audio sources.
Oh.
I should have been able to
Even
spot that.
possible?
I'll let you down. I should have been able to see that. Yeah, Harry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here he will probably just. I mean, he's got time to kill. He'll go for a wander. He'll like just check out the local shops, see what the prices are.
Yeah.
What's trading well.
There's a few pawn shops that you've frequented before. You know that you can sometimes fence goods there if you need a quick buck, and the owner does not ask too many questions about the origin of said goods.
Yep. No. Pick up a couple carrots and head back.
Harry, you get sort of about a minute or two out of the central merchant bank when you feel Figment's presence drawing close once again, and you watch as your heartstone lights up and the illusionary version of Figment rises from your hand.
I am confused.
Oh yeah? What are you confused about, Pete?
You said your name was Harry to me, but you told that woman in there it was not. I don't understand. Were you lying?
Oh well, I used to go by the name Harrison. And yeah, so yeah, I had to so I shortened it to Harry, and yeah, and I wandered around Nastea for a while, just trying to find my feet, and yeah, then I yeah. What would you like to know, Figment?
Figment's gonna roll an insight check. Figment doesn't know if he can trust you anymore, Harry. Are you lying about your name to Figment?
Nope, it was
cool.
Nope.
Wow.
Figment's gonna roll an insight check. Figment, you've broken a bit of trust with Figment. Figment thought that you were being honest with your friends, and now is not so sure. Okay, yeah. I won't say what Figment's roll is, but it's pretty damn good.
Okay, Harry, I trust you. But that woman, is she your friend?
No. The honest truth is no. She's actually Harry will look around just to see if he's gonna buy a carrot. Hey, Fig, we'll just talk around the quantity. Harry will buy a carrot and just wander out of sight from anyone.
As you wander around into one of the side alleys away from the central merchant district of Oxenfurt, leaving behind the market stalls laden with fruit, vegetables, as well as some other baked goods, you make your way down a little side alley, checking around. The tenement buildings rising on either side of you blot out most of the sun, leaving you in this partial shady twilight between these buildings. You seem to be alone for the time being as you look around. Do you want to make me a perception or investigation check? See what you pick up. So, welcome, lovely raiders. Welcome, Vampire
16.
Logan. Thank you for bringing in your lovely crew. Welcome to the Lost Archives. 16. Harry, for the time being, you think you are alone. You see no signs of any people. Your keen ears move in every direction, picking up on even the slightest noise. And while you can hear the general day-to-day noises coming from inside the apartment buildings on either side, babies crying, parents wrangling kids, the sound of an argument happening up on the 3rd floor between a couple that really need to get divorced. I mean, really just need to end it. It's not working. Inside the alley, you seem to be alone and isolated.
Okay, and then Harry will then go further into the shadows and just yeah, if anyone walking past, they wouldn't even see him, is the plan.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, she's not a friend, right? A friend is someone who you can have fun with and trust in, and have each other's back. My relationship with Secret is we have each other's backs until we don't, because she's using me for information and I'm also using her for information. So if she feels that I'm no longer useful, she will no longer treat us with respect. So I have to be very careful around her and what I say.
Am I your friend, Harry? Or are you using me?
Well, I mean, I was skeptical at first because when you first reached out, I thought maybe you might have been using me. But as we've been through a lot together, you see the world through my eyes, and I have learned a lot from your insights. I would say we're friends. Yeah.
And the others, Lyra, Ember, Bart, Threign, and Niles, are they your friends, or are you using them?
I would call them my friends. They're pretty cool. I mean, so I was there. Okay, I went to Aspire to learn more about the giant technology, and when I got there, I ran into the party, and they seem like pretty cool people, and also checking out giant technology. So, yeah, and I also sold them some snake oil as well, which was good for my my wallet. And we went on an adventure, and then we got the Heartstones, so we have something in common, which is really nice. And I'd say for the first time in Nostea, I've made some friends, which I think I can trust. I don't think Bart trusts me, but other than that, I think the others trust me, and I trust them pretty well. I trust Bart, except I don't trust him about making deals with that Cambion, but I trust him to have my back.
That makes sense, Harry. But you are persuasive. And as I grow and as I change, I feel I am struggling to know what truth is, objective truth. It is so much more complicated. It is harder to know.
In a large part of living, which you are living, by the way, you are, to me, a living being, is navigating that, because it's never a black and white, truth or lie, good or bad. Everyone has an incentive in a goal in life, and usually your friends are friends that you make because you have similar goals. But then sometimes when people's goals change, they don't have that bond anymore, and sometimes that's not enough to keep them heading in the same direction. It doesn't mean they can't still be friends, but it means that they may not travel together anymore.
I think I understand. And that lady, Secret, she mentioned your cousin, one lost in the Feywilds. Do you miss your family, Harry?
Yeah. Well, I don't miss that cousin.
Oh, it sounded like you were worried about them, but maybe you were worried about what they might do.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes I forget that you can't read my mind and you hear what I hear. So yeah, no, I miss Larry. Larry was great.
The one who got caught robbing a bank.
Yes. For podcast listeners, Dave's internet is not the best. He's back.
Oh, yeah, I miss Larry. Larry's great. He's more like a brother than a cousin. But yeah, there's other family members that I miss, and there are some which are backstabbing little vixens that we don't miss. So, yeah. No, I miss my family, but I can't go back yet.
Why can't you go back?
That's a long story.
That's okay. You can tell me when you have time. I understand these things are hard to say sometimes. I feel...
You feel my emotions, right? Or do you not feel my emotions?
I'm not sure. I have felt things. A sense of energy when you were fighting. A sense of quiet. A sense of fear might be the word when you were up against the Bahia. Now I feel like water. Like a quiet pool. My chest. And you watch.
It might actually be your feelings, mate.
Sorry. And you watch as the holographic figure of Figment reaches up and touches its chest.
I don't have feelings, Harry. I'm a program.
No, mate. You're a living. You live to me. You're a living, like metaphorically breathing being, and I can tell you, you're more than any program I've ever met.
How many have you met, though, Harry?
Well, I think 3, not including yourself, and 2 of them tried to kill us. So, but they had emotions because they were angry. Maybe I'm not sure, but yeah, no, you are to me a living being, and you're my friend, and we're gonna work together to get your memories back and get you back on track.
Are friends honest with one another, Harry?
That's another gray area, mate. Friends can be honest, but the thing they're honest about is trying to look after each other's best interests. And there's a thing called a white lie, where you say something because you think it's best for them to either not know, So, if I was just a bit smelly, not very smelly, because if I was very smelly, you'd want to tell me. But if I was just a bit smelly because we've just been in a fight, you don't necessarily have to tell me, right?
So, if you are protecting someone from something, if it's a friend, it's okay to lie?
No, gray area.
Gray area.
It can be considered okay, but it also, sometimes it's best just to talk to your friend and work with them. But sometimes if you're in a fragile state of mind, or if you're not in the right headspace, you might want to hold off and tell them later, because you don't want them to react and cause more trouble. So as you're growing and learning, you can see that sometimes, like when Bart was making that deal with the Cambion, we couldn't necessarily just tell him that it was a silly idea and that he shouldn't do that.
But all of you did. All of you were very quick to point out the foolishness of his decision, the absolute idiocy of his plan to make a deal with the devil. I was in complete agreement. It was a logical, terrible idea.
Yes, but we could have been a lot meaner about it. And at the time, we came from a place of caring.
Dave, could you please roll me just a D100, mate? Just roll me. Just roll me a dungeon. Just roll me a dungeon.
I was expecting this.
30. Okay. 30.
Well,
Let's just say, go on, Figment.
I was just going to say, Harry, you've given me a lot to think about, but it sounds like you had more wisdom for me.
Oh no, I was just going to be more honest with you about what's happening. I can't go back to see my family until I'm stronger, which is why we're on this journey. So, yeah, and honestly, meeting you has helped me become stronger, and that's been really good. So, I'm not friends with you because you make me stronger, but it's been a really good relationship, because by knowing you, I have become stronger. Just like I know the others, and I have become stronger, and we became friends because we're all getting stronger.
I think I understand. Thank you, Harry. You've given me a lot to think about.
No promise, but I guess I can't. My words don't mean as much as the actions, but please believe me when I say that I'm your friend, and as long as I think it's right for you and right for the world, I'll be by your side. And if I don't think it's the right thing to do, you also got to trust me to tell you.
I do trust you, Harry. I trust you. We are friends.
Yeah, we're friends. I like that. Is there anything you want from the market, mate?
Things I would want from the market. I do not
like
eat
some oil for the arm, or can you feel that, or is there anything you want to see? I mean, we're away from the others. We can just go have a bit of a sticky beak and we'll join them after.
Don't think I've ever been to a market before. Can I stay out like this while we walk around?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I feel more here when I'm here. When people can see me, I feel like I am here.
Yeah. But we'll put your speaker volume down, and so if you talk to me and we talk, it's less obvious to others. But
hold your hand up to your ear, Harry. I can speak through the hand directly to you through the Heartstone.
Oh yeah, it sounds good.
I can ride on your shoulders.
Yeah. You just people just think you're my familiar. It's fine. Yeah, Harry will have a stroll with him on his shoulder.
Perfect. Let's jump on back with the rest of the group. And I need to write down that 30. Thank you, Dave.
Is that a good number or is that a bad number? Or
you don't know. Mate. You are the best, Dave. I know exactly how to bait a hook for you, my friend. Let's jump back.
No one knows if I was telling the truth or lying, so that's fine.
Best bit. Let's jump back with the rest of the group. You were in the process of making your way down the tower, I think? Unless there's anything else you wanted to show Griswold? I don't think there was anything else.
No.
In that case...
the enriched metal.
Oh, yes, sorry. Yeah. As you hand over the enriched metal.
Oh, yes, I think I could have a bit of a play around with this, if a devil can figure out how to use this. Did you say this was being manufactured into armor for the heiress theocracy?
Yes.
Fuck. Well, that's not good.
Well, no.
Did I get you with that, Dave?
Well, that's not good at all. Why is it since your arrival here, I have said the words fuck, and that's not good. More than I've said them in the last few weeks. In the last 10 minutes.
I wish I could come with good news, but...
Your life may be pretty boring.
Well, funny you say that. Normally I say it in a different language. I guess it kind of matches either way. Well, yes, that's not good. That's not good at all. I know we're not supposed to talk about this, but if you can find a way for that information to somehow be made public in a way that doesn't draw attention to you lot, I would recommend doing such thing.
Well, yes, it's a delicate situation. Obviously, with the Messenger Guild being, so heavily tied to aristocracy.
Yes.
I've
got a question for you two. Sorry, Lyra, you go. My question's not that important.
Go ahead. It was just an idea. We could do a flyer drop. Print all the information out, and Niles could fly overhead in some kind of disguise.
Oh my god, the audacity. It's brilliant. You'd be killed. All of you. It would be traced back. You would be killed. But my goodness, the word would get out. You'd be dead. But the word would get out.
Hoot? No. I don't like the sound of that.
You two.
It's the same as the scrying magic that we used with Harry. We tracked him back to his fur. If someone had flyers from us, they could track us with the flyers.
Oh yes, there's a lot of magic that could be used for that. You two, you're both Owlin.
Yes.
You're not
yes.
on board with what's happening with Eris. Neither of you were involved in any way, shape, or form with the knowledge. I know it's
not
kept
at all.
pretty secret, but
I'm pretty sure I was sold into slavery because I'm all about love and peace.
Oh, and I was trained as a killer until I realized the error of my ways and joined a different monastery.
trained as a killer.
Well, I mean, it was
And your cousin.
martial arts. It got a little bit heated, but upon reflection, survival of the fittest and all, got a little bit too much for me.
Do you still wear the black and white bandages on each hand? I know we had that as part of your original design brief. Do you still wear that black bandage on your
Yes.
left hand and the white bandage on your left?
The
On your right?
only thing I got rid of was the obvious, civil wind ties. But I still
Okay.
have the bandages.
Because I ended up not including the black bandage on your right hand because of its implication with this going forwards. Maybe this is the moment when Niles removes the black bandage.
Yeah, sure.
You watch as
Yeah.
as you sort of say this, you watch as Griswold looks down at your right claw wrapped in the black bandage and goes,
Oh, right. Well, you said you were being trained as a killer.
Well, trained as a Silverwind family. But,
Yes,
upon
but you were
reflection-
a subspecialty of martial arts based around the disruption of an opponent's life energy, leading to their imminent demise as quickly, as brutally as possible. Yeah, that was your
Yes.
training.
I think more or less what you're... Yes, that's correct. Only to be used as a last resort, but my cousin seems to have...
My
used it a
boy.
lot.
My boy, you were being trained, you were being tested. You were potentially to be recruited into the,
No, I
Elite
realize that.
Guild of Assassins that operate for the Eris theocracy. No.
You mean-
The Shadow
you mean
Talons. Yeah. Shadow
oh.
Claws.
Oh. Are you...
The Black Bandage. Yours is it's not up your whole arm. It doesn't go over both. I didn't recognize it immediately. You got a lot of
Are
black
you
and white
saying-
going on. I didn't notice, but I think you were being trained, my lad.
That makes sense. Yep.
You said your cousin was involved with this and excelled at her training?
Well, yes, she's a second head of... Well, she's the daughter of the current leader of the Silverwind family.
Yeah, she's also a Shadow Claw. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that explains the weapon that she had. A claw for her claws. Quite grotesque, if you ask me.
Metal, almost like talons overlay.
Yes. Oh.
My boy, you could not have picked a more dangerous person to have close to you in the family. They are masters of infiltration. Masters of, murder. I can tell you now, the Dead Three will be put to shame with the cruelty they can unleash. You don't have the Dead Three here. Don't worry about that.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Maybe we talk
They're
about
brutal.
that another time, then.
They're brutal. You need to look out for
Oh.
them. You say a family member is a member. You need to be careful. Very careful.
Well,
I'm surprised they let you live, actually, if you failed the test. In the plane of air, they do not. I can share that with you right now. You are thrown from the highest point to plummet to the depths below with your wings.
and then you watch as he pauses and looks over at Bart.
My boy, were you also being trained as a member of the Shadow Claws? They clipped your wings, but not his wings.
No. They were torturing me as a child to try to unlock my inner key. I thought it was just games at the time. I'm the son of the Zishi. Oh, yeah.
You watch as Griswold does a full double take. He had no idea that you were the son of the Zishi.
One of.
Well, this puts your father in an awkward position, I can tell you that. Oh, dear. You were banished, you say? Or sold into slavery?
I'm still learning the ropes of it. You don't know much about the theocracy.
Not a huge amount. I'll be honest. I don't pay much attention to what happens outside these walls, and anything that comes out of the theocracy is propaganda at best, misleading lies at worst. So I tend not to believe everything I hear. But I'll tell you
That's
now,
okay.
I would have heard if the son of the Zishi had gone missing. I've heard nothing.
Okay, yes. I've heard that about 4 times. Thank you for the concern, though. It just makes me feel worse.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I've been missing for a couple of months. I thought maybe if you knew so much about the airplane, but yeah, I don't really like politics either. But I don't also like the way that the theocracy is leading towards, and it's a whole thing. But thank you for all the information you've given.
Of course, and if there's anything else I can think of that might be useful, I'll let you know. And if we ever need to, see a bit more of those lovely, pretty fireworks to marvel at, I'll let you know too. Gives you a bit of a nod and a wink.
Well, I guess we're done here.
Yeah, fuck off. I've got some calculations to do. You lot, come back in a couple of hours. Give me a couple of hours.
Oh. Take all the time you need.
Well, not that
Thank you,
long.
Professor.
It's all right. Thank you, Lyra. It's good to see you again. How's everything going?
We made it back here in one piece, mostly.
I'm thinking more about your body. Shana tells me it's made out of dragon flesh.
Yeah, actually, funny story. Was it a Quagga guys? It was sort of doing some weird sniffing thing, and apparently I smell more like dragon than elf, which apparently has saved my ass. So
that worked out well.
Me, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, good on you. Look, you know my feelings on that creature as you described it, the flesh sculptor. As he full-on body shivers. Yeah.
Agreed, right?
What's wrong with replacing it with a mechanical arm? I would have built you a new body in seconds. One that could do a lot more than your fleshy prison, let me put it that way.
Hang on. Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Would you reckon you'd be able to, maybe animate and mechanize a pair of stuffed wings? I mean, would it be better than the body of the flesh sculptor?
Oh, yes. I'm far better than that hack.
I'm going to start reaching around and clutching the wings a little bit and bring them in front of me. Please, do not mess with these. Not loud, noisy metal. You know what that's going to do to my dancers.
Good point. Well,
I could have the steam exhaust out at key points for a nice percussion tempo.
No,
Oh.
I'm good.
Well, if you change your mind, you let me know.
I won't.
Oh. All right, you lot fuck off. I've got work to do.
Bye, Griswold.
Bye, Niles. Bye, Lyra. Ember, do you know, you're my favorite. Do you know why?
Because I keep quiet.
You haven't asked me a single stupid question this whole time, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Was there anything I could do for you, though, my boy?
No, I'm just happy to listen and learn.
That's a pretty nice cloak you've got there. Just want to put that out there. Don't think I didn't notice you wearing that. Very nice.
I know, it feels quite slimming. It helps me get around, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, if you ever need someone to take that off your hands, I wouldn't mind being first in line. I'll pay a bit extra for it. I quite like that. That could be kind of useful for something I'm researching.
Oh, and look, I'm pretty sure someone else would like to have it back, or they'll take my hands. So I think I might hold on to it for now.
Very fair. Probably need your hands. If you lose those, remember, I'll get you sorted out with those as well. I've got a lovely pair of hands right here. You watch as he pulls open another drawer, pulls out 2 metal Warforged clockwork hands. As he pulls on one of the levers, you watch as it goes into a thumbs up as he holds it up. See? Working perfectly.
Maybe we should, when Harry gets back from whatever Harry was doing, maybe we should get him to come and visit you. He might be worth meeting him.
Sure. I don't know who Harry is, but if he's like you a lot, then he's going to cause me nothing but problems and a headache. But at least it'll be fun.
Yep, pretty much.
Harry, somewhere in the marketplace, you just think my specialty. You don't know why you think that, but you do.
I think you'll get a real kick out of it.
Does he kick people when he says hello?
Oh, he stomps his foot when he gets excited.
Is Harry a dog?
No, he's a Harrengon. Close.
Oh, a Harrengon. You can't say a dog and a Harrengon are close. That's racist, Niles. Unbelievable.
No, that's not what I meant.
Wow, is it though? Go on, you lot. Leave me with my calculations. I'll stop teasing. Leave me with the calculations. I'll catch up with you later. Good luck. Yes. The hammer's staying with me for the moment.
As we were walking out, I was going to have a chat with the guys.
Yeah, perfect.
But
As you
I was
begin
just
walking down the
gonna-
tower.
Just wanted to ask, guys. So what? Lockie's coming back to pick us up in 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, give or take.
Next day.
Yeah.
He said he'd come let you know in the next day or so, but he's not sure when he's going to get you to see Sin Mara.
And-
It could be in a day or two.
And I believe Mirror is coming in a couple of hours, I think, from whatever business she had. I did want to talk to her. I know I've already spoken to we've already spoken to, I forget his name. Azura. We've already spoken to Azura about our mission down below, but I would like to give my report to Mirror directly as well. I trust Azura to pass on that information, but not really. Who am I kidding? He'll forget everything. Have we actually spoken to Azura since we've been back to perhaps keep your name on the down low? Sensitivity and all that. But maybe we should remind him on that point.
Yes.
I'm happy to just say that you guys let him know.
We did that.
Just keep it with him.
fine,
I'm happy.
no.
Yeah.
Well,
There's no. He's going to find an NPC. Just be like, "Don't say my name." Okay. That's the whole conversation.
I really hope he doesn't give away your secret identity. But anyway, I guess
Out on the street, you see he's standing on a box with, "Welcome, the newest members of the Tempest Guild, Bartholomew of the Liang clan, freshly returned from the Underdark." Yeah. And in the blue corner.
For what next? I was wanting to at some point today or tonight visit the Unseen University just to let them know about Davian. But
That would be good.
I haven't been to Oxenfurt in a decade. I'd love to see the Market City in the streets.
I wouldn't mind going to Inkford as well. I think Lyra, you must
We've
have
got, the bag of stuff and the message to pass on. We could
Well, maybe-
see if there's any more of those fishy treat things.
Well, Inkspring wasn't too far away. I think it was on the docks, if I remember correctly. So
I think
we
they were
could
off each other, weren't they?
head to the docks and go to the market while we're at it, hit it all up, and finish off at the university then.
Just quickly, Lyra, this isn't out of greed. This is just out of liking to have a structure to the way things work. You mentioned a treasury with the Tempest Guild. Your adventurers, this mission you were given to go to the Underdark, was this something that you were, as a group, told what a reward would be? Do we have some spending money on that front?
Absolutely no idea whatsoever. We're pretty much just told to go see what the stone giants were doing.
Wouldn't be working for free, right? You're adventurers.
Lyra,
me
you...
personally, they've kind of been taking care of me for the past 3 months.
I mean,
You would-
you would also you would also know, Lyra, that generally how it kind of works, and how it worked definitely during the Tyranny of Dragons campaign, and how it works now, is that you find items, gold, those that you find, you are kind of supposed to put some of that aside away for the guild itself, as kind of like a bit of a tithe for the guild, in recompense for that as well. The guild also provides you with a monthly stipend of gold as well, but you've never asked how much, and you probably have never had to draw it.
Collected it, yeah.
Yeah, you don't know where that is.
Saving somewhere.
Yeah.
Are you saying we've just got like mad stocks in the Tempest Guild and we have no
Mad
idea?
stonks, yeah. Stonks go up.
Stonks.
Yeah.
Stonks.
It is to the moons, because there's 2 on Nostea. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
going on.
Oh god.
There are Irish things you're like, oh yeah, and you know that like you and Shana have separate goals. Shana's been drawing hers for sure.
When we joined at the very start, did we sign a contract?
Yes, you did. A very, very lengthy one.
I would have that.
You would have
100%
that.
Niles would have that.
Yeah.
Niles
As you pull it up.
Yep.
As you pull it out, begin to go
How
through.
much your income is. How much
Yeah.
is it? And not
I want to know
salary.
what my compensation is. I want to know what my salary is.
As you go through, you each get a monthly stipend of 100 gold pieces, and then on top of that, you get whatever you find, whatever you split with the party out in the field, it's yours. 10% is supposed to go back to the guild, though, to help pay for the upkeep of the night hall, invest in new business, and there are also bonuses and rewards if you can recruit able-bodied adventurers. You get like a referral. You get a little referral bonus. And if you can set up businesses that rely into and lead into the Tempest Guilds, you get discounts through that as well. There's benefits. So obviously, So you've also got a bit of help with House Under the Earth. I mean, obviously that's been a huge boon, having access to a blacksmith and weapons creator, and then Griswold as an artificer. You don't just get gold from that. That also benefits you with cheaper prices for magic items. So I chucked in the chat, but for Christian, you might have seen those items. I think it added up to about 130. Oh, so if you scroll up, it added up to about 130 gold.
Oh.
You only have to pay 93 because of the discount that's applied through House. And because of the items you traded and things like that. So it's
I haven't
worked out
done
quite
any
nicely.
minuses yet because I know that we had like a group kitty, and so I was waiting until you'd worked out the total, and then I was just going to message that to everyone.
Yeah,
so just take a note of that. I'll remember it for later.
We'll chuck it down and we'll do ours because
roughly 90 gold.
Yeah, 93.
Would you also have the Dwarven gold still?
The other thing I did want to check just before we do move on, as we are talking about what was purchased and what was trying to be purchased, I've added the small, non-important things to my inventory already, like the pittons and bread, and it's a bound bag. The things I hadn't added were because they felt like they might be stuff that's not just on the general market,
for example,
and the maps.
Yeah, we'll go through the map. I haven't included that one. It's not been added into the costing. The map's a separate thing we'll go over.
Okay,
the map is a bit more of a tricky one. There are some areas of that map that would not be as easy to just get. You're going to have to head to the Explorers Guilds that Yervith was originally a part of.
Basic goods, 90 gold. Okay, yeah, lovely.
The Oxenford Historical Society. Yeah.
Harry was also a referral, so you guys would get a bonus from that as well. And has Harry signed the contract yet?
No, Harry and Bart haven't signed a contract yet.
Yeah.
We potentially have 3 referral bonuses. We have David, we have Harry. Well, technically we have Threign as well.
Threign has not signed a contract. And now that you look around, you don't know where Threin's gone. He was behind you when you got to the blacksmiths. And it's at this point you realize he and Harry, they fucked off at some point in the evening or at some point in the afternoon. You're not sure when or where.
Oh, and Ember, we have Ember.
Ember's with you.
But no,
He's a referral bonus too. Yeah.
Referral bonus. And also the male drow we said to come back to the surface.
If he gets back, then sure.
Zerum, yeah.
Yeah, if he ends up coming, yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Because he did look like he was getting pretty comfy with the Tower of Brilliance. Like it might be a new home for him.
That might be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Really sweet.
Nice.
Awesome sauce. So, who's heading to the markets?
I think we are, but does it say on the contract, not that it's super important, where to pick it up? Is there just the treasury? I'm
going to rule that as a super easy, Lyra, you know where to go. You've seen Shana go do it. As you head on over to the treasury, which is locked, you realize you're going to need the key from Azure. You go grab the key from Azure. Azure's happy to give it to you, sends you off. Go and grab it. If you wanted to sign on with the guild now, Bart, so you can claim your 150 gold pieces, you get a 50 gold bonus for starting up. He's happy to sign you on, and Ember too. So Ember and Bart both get 150. Lyra, you've got 300 gold pieces in there waiting for you because you haven't claimed yours the whole time you've been a member of the guild.
I was also going to say, when they sign the contract, like to sign in, like, to register with the guild, can Lyra make sure that her and Niles get the signing bonus for getting the repair?
Yeah. What a sign bonus.
Azure has no idea how to apply that. He's like, oh, you best speak to Amira about that one. I've got no fucking clue. No idea. No idea how to apply that one. Yeah, you best speak to Amira. It's more her area of expertise. Yeah, for sure.
I just what about the Dwarven gold? Should we just put this in the treasury for now and deal with that later?
Probably cover about 10%. So if you wanted to make the whole situation with the 10% of what you recovered from the Underdark really simple, yeah, just swap it for the Dwarven gold. That'd do it very nicely.
Yeah, I just popped that down.
Done.
There you go.
Awesome. Alrighty. As you head back out, sounds like Lyra and Niles are keen to head to Inkspren, the magic tattoo parlor. But sounds like you're keen just to explore and get a bit of an air of the markets. There's 2 main market districts.
It looks cool.
Oh, there's a lot of cool shit in Oxenford. There's 2 main market districts, one down by the sea dock on the western shore and one by the airship dock, which is very central to the city. Lyra and Niles are making their way down to the seaport to go and look through the markets there. Harry, because of where the Central Merchant Bank of Oxenford is located, You are currently closer to the sea dock. If you're following down in the direction of interesting things and markets, you're actually much closer to the sea dock, which is perfect because I can unsplit the party beautifully. Neck minute, watch as Ember and Bark go, yeah, now we want to go to... There's this island that we want to go to. We're going to go fishing. See you guys later. There's a beach. There's a beach out west. Let's go check it out. Perfect. Yeah, so Lyra, Niles, Bart, are you going to stick with them for the moment just to kind of get a bit of a view of the city?
No. If there is, with airships moving around, I would like to see what's there purely because I know that after the fire giants, our next point of call is going to be the theocracy. And look, maybe there's something useful there.
All right, so you're heading over to the airship docks. Ember, would you be going towards the port side to go and check out the magic tattoos, or are you going to head with Bart, keep him company over towards the airship docks, or something else entirely?
No, I'd like to check out the tattoos.
Tattoos, for sure. Brilliant. Let's go with Lyra, Niles, and Ember. I should ask Harry, even though you're closer to the portside docks, would you be headed to the portside docks or to the airship docks? What grabs Harry's attention?
To the portside. Yeah, we're definitely portside. Show Figment the sea and hang out, watch the boats.
Brilliant. So easy. Harry, it is not too long as you wander through the busy streets. In the city of Oxenfurt, there are many, many interesting people. It is a melting pot of a number of different cultures. You walk past Ganassi with fiery red hair blazing in the afternoon sun. You walk past a group of Triton, humanoids with amphibious aquatic features, staying quite close to the water's edge, but haggling over the price of fish with a nearby market stall. Your metal arm isn't even the only metal prosthetic. You pass by a woman with a metal prosthetic leg, hissing with steam as it walks along, helps her move along the streets in time with her footsteps as she begins walking up from the docks with a very heavy bag of shopping. Yeah.
Harry would look at that and because Figment uses his eyes and just whisper oh yeah, see? Yeah, she's got one too.
Would you like some metal legs, Harry?
It might be useful one day, but not for now. But I mean, metal legs don't break as easily as bony legs, so it might come in useful.
That is true. I am not sure how much control I have over the spread of the metal, but if it is something you want, it is something I could look into.
Yeah, let's hold off for now, but I appreciate the offer.
You hear a whisper in the back of your mind.
Full metal bunny.
But you don't hear it.
Harry imagines it.
Yeah, for a moment. It's like techno
Iron Man,
bunny
form. Yeah, exactly.
And this enormous, monstrous, artifice of form of Figment above you with these tendrils of light shooting out of him like missiles. It's sick, Harry. Yeah.
It's like an Iron Man bunny with a Sasuke.
Yes. Yeah.
Susanoo in the background. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's exactly a Susanoo. You see Figment as this massive rabbit Susanoo, this metal rabbit Susanoo above you. Man, fuck, that's gonna be sick. I want to draw that now. That'd be awesome.
Harry's just hopping and bouncing and just having a good time with Figment.
We're gonna end up drawing each of the characters as a different style of anime. We've got Lyra and Swampy as JoJo. We've got Harry and Figment as fucking Naruto. What are the others? I reckon Niles as Studio Ghibli would be fucking adorable.
Oh, that would be very cute.
Kiki's delivery service.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
That's cute.
That.
I immediately went to Fist of the North Star, but that's kind of whatever. But Ghibli is good.
Neon Genesis, Yvonne Harrion.
Harry gone.
That's good. That's good foxtrot. That's very quick. Very good.
Bart in either JJK or I'm thinking Bleach with his sword.
Yeah, Bleach for sure. And with the half mask as well of the hollow. I reckon Ember, Dragon Ball Z. I reckon with the hair goes up and he's got the flames in his hand because he does cast Fireball and Wall of Flame.
That's true.
You mean other than Pokemon?
I thought Pokemon was obvious.
Oh yeah, Pokemon's so obvious. Yeah, sorry.
That's too obvious. Pokemon's too obvious. That's too easy.
As he just turns his hat around, I choose you, Flicker. Oh man,
you go real could you Digimon too?
Ugh, bleh. No, I'm kidding. I was going to do that to anything you suggest.
You can talk as much about as you can talk about Digimon as you want. They won't sue you. So that's the main thing.
That's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point.
That's true.
Nintendo. Yeah. as you begin walking down the streets, Harry, walking past a myriad of people, you get glances for sure, but you don't stand out in the way that you thought you might, in the way that you might have feared. Oxenfurt is a busy, bustling place. As you get closer towards the docks, you see more and more of the Maloran Orc traders. In the harbour, you can see a number of the outrigger ships, these very large, almost like sailing yachts with these outriggers attached to them, with these beautifully designed cloth sails fluttering in the wind. It looks like a contingency of Maloran Orc traders have arrived in the harbour. The pirate ship that you guys explored previously and bought the chitin armour, the boiled lobster chitin armour from, pirate ship is not there. It seems to have cleared out. And as you make your way down towards the market docks, teeming with people, hundreds of people, you spy a familiar sight. Lyra, Niles, and Ember walking down the main street as they get towards the market dock, looking around with interest and excitement at the various wares on display.
Can Harry sneak up on them?
Oh yeah, you can sneak up on them for sure. Yeah. Can you roll me a stealth check? Let's see how sneaky you are.
That's only an 11. That's
not that sneaky.
Dice.
Not that sneaky. Harry, as you make your way towards... Yeah, you see Figment, and Harry's like got his hand up to his ear, and he's like whispering to Figment, "I'm getting close. I'm getting close to them now. They're pretty close. I'm pretty close." Yeah, I mean, you see him, like you see
Harry,
him.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, friends. Hey, Figment, it's our friends.
Huh?
Yeah. Oh no, just hanging out with Figment.
Hello, friends.
Oh hey.
Hello, Figment.
Hello, Figment. Enjoying the sights and sounds of the city?
Oh,
I am.
Having a great day.
Yes, we are having fun. I have not seen such a place before. It is beautiful. And loud.
It's very loud.
Is that?
It doesn't help that I have these big ears that Figment's using.
Oh, is that why you were covering one of them?
No, but we'll go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, no. We yeah. Check it. What are you guys doing here?
Oh, well, we were done at the guild, so I thought we'd go and look back at the markets. And I know Lyra and I visited Ingsprin when we were here last. So I thought we'd go check it out and hand over some of the materials that Lyra was able to get from when we were in the Underdark.
I want to see if I can get a spell focused tattooed.
Oh, that's awesome. We can see if anything on Obsidian Foot could help as well. If there's any gems on that, we could just pry them out.
True.
From the leg?
From the foot?
Yes, you mean from the Obsidian Foot, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he's got some jewelry on it, right? Is there like aesthetic jewelry?
Have you looked at it? Right?
It's a big old chunk of obsidian carved in the shape of a foot.
Does he have no bling on it? No bling on it.
No bling on it at all. Mate, when you've got a fucking foot made of obsidian, you don't need extra bling.
You've got like a little toe ring.
You're already compensating. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bracelet.
I like that. That's funny.
It was pretty dark when I chucked in the bag. Oh, yeah. Can I have my bag back?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Is the big man still in there?
Well, about that. We may have infected Professor Griswold's tower with the bagman, but that's fine. He seems
it's like a trade. That's fine.
He said it was quantum. I don't quite know what that means.
It's like a trade. I love you, Dave.
So good. Suddenly, Harry's backstory as a thief makes a lot of sense. Oh, yeah, it's like a trade. I trade an empty space for what's on their countertop. I trade them an excellent story to share to their friends about the time they were robbed.
Yeah. Do you know what quantum means at all? He said that was what the bagman was now.
Oh, I can't hear.
It sounds like an intelligent word.
There we go. I can hear him now.
Oh, well, I thought maybe your Figment might know.
Oh yeah, Fig.
What was the question? I'm sorry. I was distracted by that colourful display of kites over there.
Well, sorry.
Harry gets distracted by the colourful display of kites.
Harry, there's a person walking past with like 1,000 kites all tied onto this one string, disappearing up into the heavens above.
We all get distracted.
Yeah, just so many kites.
1,000 kites.
Yeah.
What?
It goes up. Like, so imagine like a single large thick rope hundreds of strands coming off at each long sections of string with like 10 or 20 kites tied to each one, forming this massive group of kites. As you see this person flying it, getting really into it, you watch as two of the guards of Oxenfurt, two of the Oxenfurt city guard, begin walking closer. One of them taps the man on the shoulder. You're close enough to hear this exchange. Sorry, sir, but you're quite close to the airship docks. You're going to need to bring those kites down out of the restricted airspace, please. Oh, but think of the kids, officer. Come on, officer, think of the kids. As the man is then slowly like directed away with his ridiculous amount of kites.
Harry would like to minor illusion a kite for Figment.
Oh,
That's so cute.
it's pretty cute.
I was gonna suggest just based on that long strand of kites, are there any huge ones that look like they might be big enough for sort of Harry to use as a hang glider and possibly be towed behind Niles?
Hell yeah.
So not with those kites, because if those kites were big enough to do that, this dude has like 1,000, he'd be fucking gone. First gust, and he'd just go. Yeah, none of these ones. But Lyra, as you have a bit of a look around, can you make me a perception or investigation check, please?
Ooh, definitely. Perception or investigation? Where is it gone?
See what you can spy. 16. As you have a bit of a look around, it doesn't look like there's any massive like hang glider kites for sale down here in the marketplace. But Lyra, if there was going to be a place where you could find something that might help someone glide along up in the air, the airship docks would be the place to go. And you think, like, as you think about it, you think you might have seen something similar, a large piece of fabric between a number of different guide wires to be worn on the back and deployed in case of emergency. It's like a manual version of the Featherfall token. Maybe they'd have something similar. They called it a parachute, you think. But yeah, there might be something similar that you can find up at the airship docks.
I think she might, yeah, I'll keep an eye out for it, just sort of, as we traverse.
Sorry, your question about the bagman. You said the word quantum.
Yes, I was wondering what that meant exactly. Professor Griswold, it was a bit confusing what he meant by it. It meant he was here but not here. It was strange.
It is a study of a form of science that relies on things being observed and not observed, and their behavior changing in response to it. It describes things that happen on a much smaller scale than what your eyes can perceive. Does this make sense?
Not really, but thank you.
Imagine a box. Inside the box, there is a cat.
Oh no.
Until you open the box, you do not know whether the cat is alive or dead. Technically,
Why would there be a dead cat in a box?
the cat was not dead when it was put in the box.
A dead cat's a good cat.
What?
He is a rabbit. I kind of get it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just out of context, if I was to clip
Try to get us
this,
cancelled.
if I was to clip this and put it up as a YouTube short with no context, though, you'd be in big trouble, Dave.
Yeah, it would be.
To be fair, though, I reckon there's a lot of stuff you could clip of me out of context, and I'd be in so much trouble.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need to make sure anything I say contentious is in another voice, so it's clearly a character, not me. Therefore, it can't be my opinion.
I don't like the idea of the cat being in the box. Figment.
It's not a real cat and not a real box. It is a mind experiment, a thought that you play out to understand a concept.
Oh.
Like the Hearthstones?
Yes, I suppose. The Heartstones contain a mind or a soul. Is that soul alive or dead?
So every time we think about it or look at the stone, there's like a 50-50 chance that they'll just die?
Not quite that way. But it is not a bad way to kind of think of it.
Just existential dread.
There is a thought process in martial, well, not necessarily martial arts, but in deep thinking in the monastery, that in order to become a master, you have to forget and become the realization that you are nothing, and then that way you are everything. Is it like that?
That is another way that you could come to this solution, or to approach this problem, Niles. It is good to see that this thought, this idea, is expressed in many ways.
Oh. Well, then I have to become quantum then, to become a true master of martial arts.
He watches Figment, the little holographic version of Figment, just shrugs.
Excellent. Well, thank you, little one. You've given me much to think about. Cats and boxes and everything and nothing. Very good.
Please do
It's
not
what
feel the
things
need
do.
to place a cat in a box. That is not necessary for the experiment.
Are you sure?
Exceptionally so.
Okay, good. I was worried.
What would you guys like to do? You've got the whole market in front of you. Lyra and Niles, you know the way back to the tattoo shop. Ember, you were there too, so you know the way back as well.
Yeah.
If you've been to the tattoo shop before, to Inkspren. It's right on through the main central district of the markets. You need to head down to the main sort of esplanade that runs along the side of the port side, the docks, and then just up a small hill near the bakery that sold those little fishy treats, little pastries.
Yeah.
It's right next to that. Is a hidden stairway that leads up to the tattoo parlor.
Harry, did you want to come to the tattoo shop with us?
Yeah,
Me?
I'll come for wonder.
Meet Expert? Yeah.
Hey, a bit of a squiz.
Bit of a squiz. As you make your way down the busy docks, you pass by a number of the Maloran Orc outriggers, these very beautifully made ships. Niles, no. Oh, fuck, I forget. None of you have been to Drifthaven. Never mind. That was Shana. I keep forgetting it was Shana. Yeah, I mean, the orcs seem to have this this symbol tattooed. All of them have the same symbol tattooed on their chest. It probably means they're from the same floating city. You don't know which one just by looking at it. But they seem to have brought in quite a large amount of goods. It looks like they've been on a trading route, maybe down through the Shattered Isles. There's quite a large number of fruits that generally are sort of much more tropical down towards the southern part of the Shattered Isles. You can see them bring in, as well as a collection of furs, lion and tiger furs as well. Possibly they've been trading with the Satyrs, Tabaxi and Leonin down towards the south. As you make your way up towards the very hidden entrance to Inkspren, you can see that once again the bakery is doing a roaring trade. A line that runs all the way back down towards the dock, down the main esplanade, of people all lining up. It looks like you're catching the final rush before the close of the day, and you can see that most of the items that are in the windows, almost gone. This bakery is almost out of goods. The shopkeeper who you saw last time, this young lady, very haggard, very tired looking, as she's trying to serve about 30 different people at once, you can see that she is struggling with the number of people inside the shop. But you ignore that. You instead head up towards the hidden stairway. The very small sign, the flowing lines of code, flowing lines of script that say the word Inkspren. Little hidden doorway. As you open the door, step inside, once again you find yourself in the dark hallway, the stairs leading up to an upper floor. Along the walls, beautiful, glowing like lines and forms create this underwater landscape in 2D all around you. Corals rise from the walls in these glowing hues of every color. You can see fish frozen in motion, swimming and darting throughout the coral beds. As you make your way up the stairs, the coral gives way to a much sort of higher level of the ocean. You can see large sharks swimming through the gloom, captured in these flowing lines of ink. Arriving at the top of the stairs, the room before you is much as you remember. A large mechanism, glass pillars rising up from floor to ceiling, hundreds of glass vials, all filled with various glowing inks, moving and shifting and changing as this mechanism inside twists and turns, metal pulling, moving the glass vials into different locations to refill these vials from a large central chamber. 4 chairs that lean back, like almost like recliner chairs, set up around this main glass hub, and mechanical arms from the roof holding these tattoo guns. Unlike last time, the shop is empty. There doesn't appear to be any other customers here. But dressed head to toe in these shadowed leathers, only the eyes visible, these bioluminescent glowing blue eyes visible through this head to toe covering. You can see the figure the entity that you encountered and talked to last time. And as you step inside, you watch as the figure turns towards you, cocks its head a little bit and nods.
Ah, I wondered when I'd be seeing you lot again. Welcome back to Inkspren.
Hi.
Hello.
We made it back from the Underdark.
You've brought a friend.
Yeah.
You're muted. Sorry, Dave.
This is Harry.
Sorry, Dave.
Oh, what was your name?
My name, for the purposes of this, let's call me Inkspren.
Okay.
Now, you're here for a tattoo. Or did you find the inks that you were looking for? The ingredients?
All of the above, as well as to deliver a message.
A message?
Do you remember? Well, it's from her great-granddaughter, but does the name Arahir, Sister Superior from the Sisters of Silence?
Arahir. Oh.
Underdark Dwarves.
A deep dwarf. Dwerga. Yes. Her granddaughter. My
Great-granddaughter.
great-granddaughter. No. Cannot be that much time has passed, can it?
I couldn't answer that one for you, but
Is she
Has-
well,
thanks.
Arahir?
she is now. She is now. They went through a little bit of a stint, but I think they've come out at the other side. I'd say all the better for it, but not really.
I think they will do.
Surviving.
Yes. They were under some duress for a while, under a pretty nasty lord, I should say, nasty ruler. But they seem well. They were looking after their own, and I think they will be okay now.
Nasty ruler since dispatched.
Yes.
Indeed. Well, that is good to hear. And your journeys have led you to some ingredients, you say? Ah, you were gifted
Pulls out the backpack.
things by the Sisters of Silence. Makes sense. Well, let's have a look
Yeah.
at what you have found.
With
I
that,
think I just hand over the full bag.
yeah, you watch as these gloved hands covered in these very heavy leathers reaches over, takes the bag very gently from you, and begins laying out the items on the bench. The figure, again, the voice that you hear, you don't think you're hearing it with your ears. There's her mouth, even though it's covered, her face is covered by this cloth. You're not seeing it move. And as she goes through the items, as they go through the items, they are completely silent. There is no noise at all, no breathing, no muttering under their breath, no talk, just silence. It is eerie. All you can hear is the gentle clacking of the mechanism moving the vials and the gentle tinkle as like the flow of liquid as the inks are refilled.
Am I able to roll a perception or an insight to sort of work out what?
You had a go at this last time and it did not go well for you. But you've seen a bit more of the world now. Yeah. Do you want to make me a perception or investigation or insight check? Anyone who wants to roll this can.
Especially maybe comparing to now that we've met. Was it Albus?
Albus the Mind Flayer. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Kind of in a similar way with the.
I'm happy to share. You don't think. So even us with your 14, you don't think this is a mind flayer. The way that the head covering moves around the chin, there's no way there's massive tentacles hidden underneath it. It's a very humanoid face and humanoid appearance, just hidden underneath these cloths. Niles with a 14. Yeah, something you didn't pick up on last time that you do pick up on this time. These cloths, these covered. At first you kind of thought it was like a shadowed leather, judging by its appearance. But it's not quite that. There's almost like a bit of a reflectivity to it. And as the figure moves around, you can see that it looks pretty like airtight. the way it's kind of locked onto the skin, locked in around, and the area around the eyes, you can see, the first time you didn't notice this, but you can see mechanisms over the eyebrow, little clips where like a lens or something might clip on. And you notice a bit of condensation around the cheeks, water gathering around the edges of the skin there. Lyra, you notice a fair bit more with the insight. This figure moves very gracefully, very slowly, with deliberate care, but there's a speed to their movements, as if they're not quite used to moving through something so forgiving as air. This creature moves like something from underwater. There's a grace and fluidity, but still speed, as if it's used to having to push through resistance, much more resistance than it's getting in the air. And every so often, you notice as the figure goes to kind of lean back a little bit and catches itself, as if it was trying to sort of lie back. Obviously, there's the way that gravity works underwater is very different. You get the sense this creature is aquatic. And cool. On top of what Niles got, I mean, the way it's moving is to keep these leathers in place. This is some sort of suit to keep in water and moisture.
Cool. Well, I was gonna ask, do you think we have enough ingredients here to potentially maybe get a tattoo or two done?
Yes, there is much here that we can use. This will cover the cost of many of the ingredients. We will be able to get you some very interesting designs. If it is only one tattoo you require, I have everything I need. If you were hoping for more than one, I may need a little bit more gold, depending on the power that you want to infuse into the tattoo. But I have many, many tattoos that you can use. Many. My designs grow.
Ooh, actually, I have a bit of a strange request. Can you tattoo a spell focus? I mean, 'cause currently she sort of gestures out to the quarterstaff that she's carrying around. Currently I'm kind of using this, but if I lose it, I'm kind of up the creek without a paddle. Is it possible to tattoo a spell focus?
Yes, it should not be too difficult. Depending on where you wanted this tattooed, I could definitely tattoo a spellcasting focus onto you. That would be no great feat. I would say that is much more of an uncommon magic tattoo.
Yes, would you maybe happen to have a list somewhere that, because, I mean, I'm definitely game to just sort of dive all in and use all the ingredients, but I wouldn't want to sort of do that if there's, if any of you guys sort of want.
Matt's already seen this. I'm going to send you a link to a PDF that is full to the brim of magic tattoos. You don't have to pick one now. I was going to say this is a good point for you to kind of have a bit of a peruse while you go through the items, but I'll use this as a chance to send this to you guys in the chat. Feel free to have a bit of a look through. This is the Tome of Mystical Tattoos. I kickstarted this quite a while ago. This is a really, really cool edition by Nat Ones. There's a lot here, a lot of good stuff. So have a bit of a read through. The prices that you can afford. So your uncommon one, Lyra, I'll go through this really quickly with you. An uncommon tattoo would normally cost around sort of 350 gold pieces. A rare tattoo, we're looking at about 5,500 gold pieces. They go up in price very quickly. With the inks and items that you've found, you would be able to cover one common and one uncommon tattoo. If you wanted to get anything more than that, you're going to need to fork out a little bit of gold, sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'll send you through the link to that right now. It's just on a Google Drive for you to have a look through. This is my copy of the tome. Obviously, I can't share it with everyone because it is a module that you can purchase and use. I thoroughly recommend it. We're not sponsored. It's just a really cool module and adds a lot of really fun magic items to your game. So that Google Drive link should be in chat now. Please enjoy. We're going to jump over. Nope, that's not the right one. Ignore that one. Let me try again.
Not even close.
Let me try that again. I just wanted to share it with you, you know? There we go. Let me try that again. That's just the Video Ninja link. There we go. There we go. I got it. Please enjoy. Let me just get rid of the Video Ninja one. All right. Bartholomew, my friend. As you make your way over towards the airship docks, the town of Oxenford is much as you remember, the city of Oxenford is much as you remember. You pass by a number of bustling craftsmen's districts as you head through the craftsman's borough to reach the airship docks from where you are in the night hall. As you pass through the craftsman's borough, you can see many people still out working in the afternoon. A number of carpenters joining together to work together on this massive, what almost looks like an enormous wooden statue of some sorts, hollowed plates of wood interlocking and overlapping. The project currently being overseen by what looks like a druid, dressed in very similar garb to Ember, actually. Feathers, leather straps over the chest piece, long loincloth that sort of goes down past their feet in almost like a tunic kind of way, overseeing this construction. And you can see that this figure, this druid, is using fire to scorch and burn part of the wood overlapping pieces. You're not sure what they're working on. Maybe some sort of art or something? Not hard to say, but very interesting. It probably catches your eye first and foremost as you head down the streets, passing by a number of other shops, glass blowers, metal forgers, all sorts of craftsmen working at their trades. But as it's getting sort of a bit further into the afternoon, you can see some of the shops are closing up. Some of the craftsman boroughs are beginning to shut down. Apprentices filling out the last of their logbooks, ready to take back to their masters to show what they've done for the day. You see one apprentice presenting a whole bunch of hose to these blades of hose to their master, and you watch as the master bends down, picks it up. This very burly looking Goliath picks up the blade of the hoe, goes, "You want to tell me what's wrong with this?" He watches the apprentice, this very gangly human lad, very large muscular arms, but the rest of him's quite gangly and lithe. "Perfect. Test it yourself. I did my best work today, sir. The best." You watch as the Goliath reaches with one hand on each side of the blade, slowly twists, and you watch as the scythe blade bends for a moment and then shatters. The hoe blade snaps and shatters. Shards of metal sort of fling up into the air, and you watch the apprentice sort of cowers behind. The Goliath doesn't even blink. He goes, "You quenched in water, didn't you?" Watch the apprentice slowly nods, looking wide-eyed. "Oh, you daft fuck. How many did you make?" 12. You watch as the Goliath just turns and walks away. You see the young human being like, "Sir, what's wrong?" As he starts to chase after his master. Overhead, though, what always grabs your attention? Aarakocra. The edge of the airship docks, the large Aarakocran Messenger Guild spire rises up before you, visible from a number of different parts of the city. And you can see Aarakocra flying to and from the spire, some carrying large packages, most of them with these classic leather straps that have a backpack at the front and a backpack underneath to kind of balance the weight, allow them to sort of maintain flight stability while still moving. The tower is abuzz with activity. And more importantly, Bart, you can see there is some sort of commotion happening up at the upper landing. Could I get you to make me a perception or investigation check, please?
Sure.
Bart's now regretting going off on his own.
Oh no, it's just that they're not my forte.
That's a shame.
A 14 with an
14.
Investigation.
As you look up towards the tower,
That's pretty good.
yeah, there's not just Aarakocra there. You can see there is an Owlin, a sooty owl, judging by their feather plumage. Currently speaking with a number of the Aarakocra. Looks like they're directing them towards two large crates at the top of the tower. You can see as they pry open the lid, a number of what looks like flyers or paper overflowing from the crates. You watch as the Aarakocra take a few handfuls and begin rolling them up and jamming them into these like little clips on their backpack front and back as the Owlin begins to oversee. You can see as the Aarakocra fill up their pouches and take off, 3 more Aarakocra, 2 very large bald eagle Aarakocra and 1 cockatiel Aarakocra who's like flying to keep up with them and struggling a little bit as they begin stacking up their pouches as well. The 2 bald eagle Aarakocra taking very good care of the cockatiel Aarakocra, making sure that the pack is secured properly and then keeping that Aarakocra in the middle as they take off and fly off once again. But you're more interested in the airship docks. You want to have a bit of a look around there. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
1 second.
Oh, uh-oh.
I'm just taking notes.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's very fair. Probably a good idea.
Look, having a bit of a wander around, seeing that stuff is starting to close. The Druid statue caught my eye, but not enough that I'd be interested to go and check it out. I'd be more so probably when I get back to Ember, mention it. Offhand comment to him. I'm curious why the cockatiel Aarakocra had a personal bodyguard for delivering whatever he's delivering. Usually they would just travel, obviously, solo.
You don't get the sense it was a bodyguard. With a 14, it looks almost like it was a very friendly gesture. The 2 bald eagle Aarakocra with the cockatiel Aarakocra looks like they're helping a friend. You don't get the sense of bodyguards. They're also messengers as well. They're loading up their pouches, loading up their things. They're just taking care.
Maybe.
Yeah, no. It's a valid thing to keep in mind. But like, they're not treating this Aarakocra any differently than they're treating each other. They're still like they're putting, but there's not like any special treatment for the 3 Aarakocra. Just the 2 eagle, the bald eagle Aarakocra.
When they left, you
nice.
said that he was like in the center of this.
Yeah, as they take off and fly, you can see one of the bald eagle Aarakocras deliberately flying behind them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The way that looks to me is, like a presidential envoy almost. So, yeah, I'm just going to... But I don't want to go too close, purely for the fact of I don't want to get close to any of the bird folk at the moment and not risk being recognized. So, instead, I'd like to look for, I guess, one of the larger stores around that's still open. Obviously, all the small family stuff is probably closing, and people that aren't sellers, like craftspeople, are closing. But there'd be a couple of like big chain areas still open. And I'm just going to have a bit of a wander, see what is still open out of those types of things.
A motherfucking random roll table. But Christian, let's have a roll. Could I please have a D100 roll? We haven't done some random stuff, random roll tables. I love random roll tables, especially for city environments. Let's have a random roll table. Let's see what we get. Let's see what you find. What grabs your eye?
79, a bit on the higher end.
They are randomized, the random ones for anything like this. There's no way to know. Higher doesn't mean anything.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just saying, yeah.
Only 1 in 100 are important. They're always important.
I'm just happy because the last time we did this, when we all getting like below 10s.
We were.
Yeah. Huh,
79.
Okay. Yeah, this will be fun. Yeah, for sure. As you begin looking around, Bart, a number of the stores kind of grab your eye. You can see a number of shops, mostly trading posts and larger groups affiliated with the Oxenfurt Merchant Guild, the Mercantile Guild, proudly displaying the coat of arms of the Mercantile Guild above their storefronts. A number of which seem to be selling exotic goods from all over. You can see there's one that clearly specializes in goods from Chiari, the Dragonborn nation, over towards the southeast, this very arid desert-like continent down towards the southeast. There's a number of signs that this is stocked very much with Chiarian goods. They're offering drake meat, which you're a bit like, that's a bit of a weird choice. Specially preserved drake meat. You can see that there are a number of dragon scales that have been polished and collected. You don't reckon they're real dragon scales. Dragons don't just let their scales go fucking get sold at a market in Oxenfurt. Something's going on here. You're not a tourist. You're not falling for that shit. But as you pass by that, the Chiarian shop specializing in Chiarian goods, you see a bit of a strange sight catches your eye in between that shop and what just looks like the entrance to a series of storehouses. A very brightly colored door, but it's sort of set in the wall without a proper frame in place, holding it still. It sort of stands out a little bit, catches your eye.
Does it look like is there any signage on it, or is it like just a back door almost?
No signage, just a door, very brightly coloured. There are images of stars over the top on a blue background, these white stars on a blue background. The blue then fades into a deep purple, then down into a rich red as it goes towards the bottom. You can see what looks like desert sands rising over the red. Beautifully painted.
Has anyone come in or out of it as I sort of am just walking past?
As you're gazing at it, you watch as the door opens. You watch as a young human man skips out holding a leather parcel that he throws over his back, calls back in, "Thanks so much," and then closes the door and begins wandering off, whistling a little jaunty tune under his breath.
Look, honestly, I do the same thing when I'm traveling abroad. You try to find like the cafes that are hidden under bridges and like the cool little niche places. Yeah, I 100% want to wander inside. I wasn't going to walk into what possibly might just be a store's back door, and because there was no signage, no one coming in and out. But with him coming out, I'll wander inside.
As you go and open the door, the first thing that strikes your sort of attention is the strong smell of spices in the air: cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg. A heady mix. Smoke covers the ceiling from many, many incense sticks burning all around you. And as you step inside, you can see the room is somewhat hazy, the incense gathering and pooling around the top. The store that you see in front of you, it's a bit peculiar. Bookshelves piled high with many knickknacks and strange items, some of which look to be junk, some of which might be valuable. It's hard to kind of say as you look through, much like an old antique store filled with various goods and items. And at the far... Oh, yep, you go.
Just to help give me an idea of possibly the store so I know what I'm talking about, if I do talk to the person, to put you on the spot, what's the title of like 2 of the book's spines? No. Interestingly, there's not many books. It's mostly items like you might find in an antique store. You can see some crockery piled up on top of what looks like one of the shelves. Yeah, so imagine like bookshelves, like
but piled.
A thrift store.
It's very much like a thrift store. There's lots of random stuff, but yeah, the haze of the incense kind of hides a little bit of the store. At the far end, you can see a figure outlined in the smoke, billowing around their form, dressed in long flowing silks. Hard to kind of make out any details of the figure, but as you step inside, you hear a little bell ring above the door. You watch as the figure turns, smoke billowing out from between their teeth, as you spy what looks like some form of dragonborn, but far less draconic in appearance, much more lizard-like. You can see soft blacks and reds covering this crisscrossing pattern across their scales, very large eyes in the center of their head, and you can see smoke billowing out from between their teeth as the figure turns and smiles. "Well, another customer. Welcome, welcome. You are new here. Your first time to Salazar's, yes?"
Yes, it is. I saw a customer who looked very happy with the work that you'd done for them, and the door drew me in. Although you definitely need some marketing, but I can help you with that if you'd like.
That was Barry, a very good customer. Aspiring student at the Unseen University.
For those who are wondering, Christian specifically and Dave, why Ali and Matt are both very excited, that was a random NPC they picked up in Tyranny of Dragons, this young kid who they brought back to Oxenford and enrolled in the university because he displayed some very minor magical talent.
Yes.
Are you like an arcane store, or have I accidentally walked into a place where I'm buying university books?
No, the books that you will find here are no prescribed reading, shall we say. This is more extracurricular. I collect items that interest me. Items that could be useful, items that might not. I like to gamble.
So I really have walked into a fantasy thrift store. Me and Jet, my partner, love going thrift shopping.
The prompt I had: you walk into a peculiar thrift store. Items that could be useful or junk. It is hard to say.
Well, look, thrift shopping. Do you mind if I just have a look around, Salazar? I know that you
have a browse.
Perfect.
Please.
Rather than
Anything that
getting
grabs your fancy.
he wants me to look at. Thrift shopping is always fun about finding the hidden little gems yourself.
And if you ask Salazar for a recommendation, he would not give it. This is a professional thrift shop owner. He knows it's all about the chase. He's not gonna help you. Fuck off. He's not helping you.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know what I'm looking for. So can I roll for that as well? Like, there's nothing particular on my mind.
Let's roll a D100 and I'll pull open a random item table then, hey? Why not?
Cool.
Let's just go full fucking randomness.
Right in the middle, 54.
54, okay.
Middle of the road.
Okay. But as you begin picking through the items, there are a number of things that kind of catch your eye. A series of scrolls all bound together, and as you open up one of them, you can see a figure moving in these flowing designs. It looks like some sort of guide for a form of martial arts you don't recognize. The figure seems to be pulling water all around them, moving it into position as they begin moving through a series of steps. I've never seen anything like it before. It is kind of interesting. Yeah, it is. It's exactly what you think it is. As you continue looking through the items, you come across what looks like a strange mask, almost like a harlequin's mask, a clown's mask, split in the middle, black on one side, white on the other, the white face smiling, the black face crying. It gives you a strange feeling as you put it back. It's with a collection of other masks. One that also grabs your attention, a green wooden mask, a single line of what looks like a metal stripe down the very center. Slightly downturned mouth, made of this very dark green wood. And as you look at it, you see the shimmer of green over the back of it. This almost like pulse of green energy. Gives you a bit of a weird feeling. Chuck it back on the shelf. As you continue round, this store seems full of very interesting random things. A collection truly worthy of its owner, Salazar. Right as you're kind of feeling like you've seen a fair portion of what's on offer, you push aside a dusty brass lamp to find a small earthenware bowl. A lid made of the same clay, almost like fired pottery, sits on top, and you can see two swirling cloud designs, one traveling east to west, the other traveling west to east on the top. The most striking thing about this is someone has bound 3 leather straps holding the lid down on top of this earthen pot. And as you pick it up and look at it, you can see on the underside script written in this very beautiful flowing hand. But do you speak Celestial?
No. My unique language is Giant and Draconic.
Yeah.
So the Chiari store is actually right up my alley, and this guy's actually, you know what?
Yeah.
In the chance that I can sweet talk this guy, but it's all about sort of his persuasive side. In Draconic, hoping, because he said he was more lizard-like, but I'm just going to cross my fingers and risk it. In Draconic, Salazar, what's the bottom of this say? And I'll hold it up.
You speak the tongue.
He responds in Draconic, stalks over towards you.
Ah, very nice. A name, Aeolus.
Spelling, just quickly. Sorry.
Aeolis.
Aeolus.
Aeolus. Interesting. Do you recognize that? This is, out of everything here, seems the most intriguing to me.
I can see why. The pattern, the wind pattern, matches what you have on your robes. Yes, not too different at all. I believe the story with this one. Traveler from a distant land, lost at sea for many years away from home, had to capture the storm inside of a bag. Eventually the winds escaped, flew him further from his home island of Ithaca. But they say that the winds that were left inside that bag were trapped once again to be used by those who need them most inside this earthen pot.
I've been listening to all the songs of the epic musical with Odysseus.
Oh, hell yeah! Oh, good.
This is right up my alley. What is it, Nemesis or no, Ruthlessness, where literally he has the bag, right up my alley.
So the god who gives Odysseus the bag of winds is Aeolus.
I
There
see.
you go.
If you're a fan of the myths, which I fucking am, I'm a huge Greek mythology fan, and actually I'm a huge fan of all mythology, Greek or otherwise. Chinese mythology is excellent. Yeah, this is all it's absolutely a reference to the god Aeolus who gives Odysseus the bag of winds, King Aeolus who gives Odysseus the bag of winds.
Poke my tongue out of my beak a little bit. 70 gold pieces.
Done.
And maybe like another 15 for that book over there. And I'm going to point towards the water martial arts book.
Ah, yes. I picked this up while traveling. It is a strange land it comes from. There is magic, but not like ours. You heard of a school of martial arts? I believe it is practiced here, the way of the 4 elements.
I'm not familiar with it myself. I didn't do too much studying and fighting, but I have a companion who would treasure this.
Indeed. 15 gold for the scroll. It would need to be more, but you have said 70 for the jar of wind, so...
75, will be my word. 75 and 15, so 19 total.
Oh, 90 for both. I cannot resist this deal. Very well. Please take the scroll. Take your jar and be careful to open the straps only in your time of greatest need.
I will.
That is the legend, after all.
Are you from Chiari yourself?
I was born there. I hatched there. Yes, Chiari is my home.
Did you see the knockoffs beside you?
Oh, do not get me started. I could talk all night.
Well, it was lovely meeting you. I'll pull the gold pieces out and place them up on top. And place with the room made, both of those in my pouch.
Cool.
You may add jar of wind and a waterbending scroll to your inventory.
Hell yeah.
And I think on that note, that is a good time to wrap up for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. No cliffhanger tonight. Just a nice ending. Just fun. Just lovely fun. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We will see you all again in the next episode. Until then, make sure you stay safe and stay well. For those of you watching us on Twitch, we will go and raid a lovely channel. Tonight it will be... Oh, I think we should go raid the Dwarf Down Under. They're currently doing Pathfinder. I reckon that'll be pretty fun. Let's go raid that.
Yeah.
Let's go raid... Oh, but Lore Rights are going too. Nah, look, we'll do something new. We'll do Lore Rights next time. We love the Lore Rights. Let me get that raid loaded up. Remember, no session next week, unfortunately, so it will be a little bit till we see you again. But we are very much looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Stay safe, everybody. Stay well. We will see you all again super, super soon. Until then, everybody, farewell. Goodbye. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.